Here we go. What's up, everybody? 20 Ortiz here, and this is my race in Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide from FFR summer of 2026. And it's a really interesting race. There's lots of crazy stuff happening. We were not on camera. We were off to each side. I'll give you kind of a description. The screen you're looking at there in the middle with the camera on the audience. So there's a TV that's displaying right there in front of the couch, and then the two main racing stations are off to either side of it, and kind of angled back and away. So easy to not, to set up, not have to see your opponent. So pretty simple. And then basically we were in. They can control all of our audio and everything. So we had game audio. The way you get around hearing the commentary in the room or not hearing the commentary in the room is you just turn up your game audio high enough. The headphones are full ear, so just jack up the game audio. You can't hear anything but the game audio. No big deal. I will admit there is some laughing that I did feel the vibrations of, and I kind of like looked around. I was like, something funny's happening, and you'll see when it is. But yeah, it was a good race. It was very close. There's some technical difficulties. I'll talk about those as we go through. But yeah, I'm just gonna let it run, and then I'll just pause and stuff and add things. And I already watched it once to try to see what VC was up to. We talked about it a little bit after the race. I probably won't play through that. You can just go watch the regular VOD if you want to hear us talk about that. But yeah, I'll let you know right up front that I made some hard committing decisions before even getting here. Once we figured out what was happening, I assumed both incentives were going to be met. And I practiced to hard commit to a couple things early that I'll explain in more detail as they happen. But I hard committing to completely fading Coliseum. I was not going to go there no matter what I had, unless I was literally in a spot where I had no overworld encounters that were farmable or for early game EXP at all. I was going to check areas. I was just going to hard commit to not going there and not get distracted by it. My reasoning for that was it was just I thought I think I'm good enough to beat it without it, even with the extra incentives. And I think that the Coliseum is a trap because when you go there, it's very rare that you find something that's just raw good on its own. So like Illumina, I think, is the only item in the game that really is the stone cold hit. Anything else that you find is going to be reliant on something else. So VK is relying on finding a Genji glove or an offering. Same thing with the ammo weapon, but maybe is also relying on EXP egg and so on. And EXP egg you could find there, but I think that if you're taking, once I saw the early one, I knew I was good. Again, I hard committed and I was like, no problem. That would be like in a situation where there was literally zero grinds available that were anywhere workable, then maybe I would consider it. But also going there early is rough. You're trying to farm items with the level 3 Yeti. If you take some grinds ahead of time, you're kind of in that diminishing returns category of like how early do you get something that's super good that's not going to count towards being able to complete the game. And before we started, there was no incentive to be required to get the skip for the tower. So I was thinking, if it's a jet, I don't want to waste time there. And if I have a jet and I'm missing equipment, then I can go there and look and whatever. Maybe I'll keep one of a lot of like secondary items that don't matter that much. So I hard committed to that. I hard committed to my opening route. You'll see it. I was experimenting with not checking anything and going straight to the go check first, but I found that with a little bit more information about what was in Narsh, I was able to better decide on what side of Narsh to do. And I was even playing around with going and looking at the Umero information, and taking that initial time loss just to have the info. But ultimately, after about 6 weeks of practice, I was kind of like I settled on what I settled on, and I just committed to it. So I hard committed to it. And the other thing I committed to in practice was the last thing. This is kind of a secondary characteristic, but if I got settled with a party member I didn't like, if they were over like level 25-ish, or I had like any amount of like 5 to 10 levels invested in boosting their stats, I was just going to stick with them. And that actually did come up in the seed, and you'll see it. So I'm just going to hit play and let it go from here. It is not picking up this audio. Hold on. All right. So what happened on the audio here?
Get to watch them on the screen.
There it is.
Acting a fool, right? That's how this is gonna work out.
I mean, that's really what makes it fun, so absolutely. So, I know that this has been brought up several times, but just in case, do you want to kind of give everybody a heads up of what exactly we are fundraising for?
Absolutely. So, for those who are just tuning in to this wonderful marathon, we are raising money for the Liam Foundation. It is based out of Rockford, Illinois. It is for support within the LGBTQIA or LGBTQ plus community. They give support services for families. They try to make sure that they understand kind of what the needs are of people, like what the people in the community are facing, to make sure that those who are in need in the LGBTQ community don't have to really, suffer as much. They have people backing them up. So I think that that is a wonderful cause. There are, plenty of social needs that are out there, and I think this is a wonderful foundation that they are working towards helping the community overall. Our group this time, looking in terms of the incentives for us, fortunately, it looks like we got the donations for both of our runners to have to do the opera. I mean, anybody who's ever seen Six is not going to be sad about that at all. We also have a mug start, as we call it, which is Mog, Umaro, and Gogo. Those are 3 characters in some of our fewer checks, and generally you don't see them as much because people will avoid those characters sometimes if they can. But we're starting with them, so that's going to make a pretty interesting beginning. And we also, at this point, still have a bid war going, but I'm pretty sure it's going towards saving Sid. You can either save him or kill him, either way that you go. And fortunately, we're saving him. He's going to get some good fish and come out of this to see the world that he has wrought.
Yeah, we definitely can't give him the easy death out. He's got to suffer through white like everybody else. Just so everybody knows, I have started a 1-minute race timer. We will be counting down our racers as soon as we get to the 3, 2, 1s. Don't go yet, racers. That wasn't the legit countdown. But let's talk a little bit about the actual seeds that they're running, which are the Moogle Cup seeds. This is our beginner flag set, and our Moogle Cup is our beginner tournament. And so this is going to be a little bit easier flag set than our normal leagues flag set. We're going to have a little bit more powerful characters, have a little bit more powerful items. Things are going to go a little bit quicker, and we'll talk more about that as we go. But our
So this right here is a sign of things to come. And I guess I'll go ahead and explain it now. So each setup has a headset and a monitor with the HDMI connection. And you basically just plug your laptop into that. They capture from the monitor. You mirror the display, and then you capture from your monitor. So there are some technical difficulties from my side, and I didn't know what was going on. I've never had any difficulties with the laptop that I've been using. It's like a brand new gaming laptop. My running theory is that the screen that's on my laptop is very good. It's a gaming laptop, so it's like 144 or 160 hertz refresh, and I think that may have caused a problem. And you'll notice on my side, constantly throughout the run, you will see the like refresh bar, kind of like buzzing through the screen. Now, when I watched this back the other night, I saw it happening on Virtual Cat's side as well. Virtual Cat was using Glue's laptop, which isn't, I think, a newer laptop, but not as powerful as the one I was using. So, obviously, there was no major issues there, but you will see the little refresh bar every so often on his side. And I'm guessing maybe Glue screen maybe is 120 refresh, or 90, something like that, maybe. And then like that's probably what the problem was. But we used my laptop again. Fiery Blizzard ran a race against Pavchenko of a different set of flags. It was like mystery flags, basically. Or Umaru mode. It's normally called Steve mode, where everything is like the same name and you have to figure things out as you go. And there were no issues. No major issues. It held up fine. So I don't know what was going on. Tech was doing a great job all weekend. They didn't, no clue. But it wouldn't be an FFR without me having some kind of technical issue. And but don't worry, it doesn't hit the run as hard as you'd think it would. It's a little bit tougher to watch, but it's not too bad. So let's
Racers are Tony Ortiz and Virtual Cat, who are
Oop.
actually.
Ooh, I can full screen this?
Wish I could be there with them. Wish I could see their faces when things happen. But hey,
think about that.
I'll just have to live with you guys. Got to tell me their reactions in chat because I'm looking for you guys, and we are at
think
3,
about full screening it. That's
2,
smart.
1, and go. They're not going. There we go.
They were trying to go.
They're trying to go. Okay, so here we go. No surprise here. We've got the Magu, Mero, and Go-Go start. So they're pretty limited on their starting checks. I believe they have 5 available, not counting like things like Zen Thief and stuff like that. So they're going to be looking for that 4th character, and they're pretty limited. So DLK, where do you want to go first?
See, for me, this is one of those, kind of like what Virtual Cat is doing now. I think my first thing would be a Go-Go. Just go ahead and get that one out of the way. It takes a little bit longer,
So I want to talk a little bit more about the strategy here. And the reason I changed, I was on this strat, as I mentioned before we started. I was on the strat, go straight to Go-Go. And I do the initial setup for it. You can see I ditch my party members. I'm gonna go there, but I wanted more info first so I could think about what I was gonna do and set up in the first few checks after, depending on like what character we found and so on, right? Also, I figured that it's kind of a no-brainer to do this way because like the worst thing that can happen to you is RNG here, and so I figured that my opponent was also going to do the same thing. So I wanted to do something slightly different and give myself a potential edge, because like if we're going to do the same sequence of events anyway, I assume he's also going to loot like the easiest and best places to loot. Maybe we pick a different side of Figuero and whatnot, but the info is the only thing that can give me an edge. And if we're all going to do it we're all going to do this up front anyway, I wanted to give myself a chance to have like counterplay of some kind. So that's why I do what I do here first, and then you'll see me go through, and follow the route that I committed to.
You're just kind of running through and dodging a dropping ceiling at one point, and of course, getting the whole bridge troll experience over with early is kind of nice. But also, since I would normally, after that, kind of be going to the Mog checks, because those kind of feed right into being able to do Umara's checks in the World of Ruin afterwards. I think that's kind of where I'd go with this. I would want to do it that way and try to streamline it all, because again, with Lone Wolf, for anybody that doesn't know, you get one of 2 choices. But the other option, you can actually, if you want to have whatever it is you didn't choose, you can get it in World of Ruin. And if you're already there, to go up the mountain again and to do the Amaro checks, those really feed right into each other very seamlessly.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because it looks like we've already hit that goal of 4,000. We are now sitting at $4,075.69. Nice.
Oh, absolutely.
So thank you out there to whoever made those donations. Maybe our
Can
lovely
I-
restreamer will tell us.
Yes, can I break in with the donations?
Absolutely, go for it.
All right. First, we got a $25 donation for Not Sure. Comment is Virtua Cat LFG. Go get that RNG, easy peasy. Sigil came in with $75 for our lovely commentators to either sing or meow the opera. I hope you guys cooperate. And then the donation that put us over 4,000 was a donation from Harka Larka for $76. Go Virtua Cat. So that puts us up to $4,075.69.
Fantastic. Okay, DLK, do you want to sing it or do you want to meow it? I'm all for meowing it.
The meowing, it really is kind of our signature thing at this point, is it not?
It is kind of. So you out there at the Marathon Live and you out there watching on Twitch, who are you going to get a treat?
Oh, and both runners are going to be doing it. So unless they're doing it at the same time, if they do it at completely separate times, we're meowing this thing twice, Dwaya.
No, we only have to meow once unless somebody else throws
Unless
another
somebody jumps
donation
in.
out. Oh, yeah.
See, there we go. All right.
You pay once, you get one. That's all there is to it.
Fair call.
All right, so we've got our runners kind of doing now a typical looting path, going to returners, trying to get, find some extra things in those boxes. Hopefully finding like a big stick, like an Illumina or Ragnarok. Trying to find, say, an offering or something like that, just to really get them off the ground.
Oh yeah, honestly, I really enjoy where Tony Ortiz is going. Like, I know people either love it or hate it. Going to returners, that's kind of one of my go-tos almost every time. Is going to the returner hideout, because there's plenty of stuff there, plus the shop, and I really like it. And most of the time, I have pretty good luck there too. But obviously, Virtua Cat is in the World of Ruin, or actually, no, it looks like World of.
So menu optimization here, I want to save before I go into the World of Ruin so I don't get blasted by skies. But since I'm doing that anyway, I also want to equip my Moogle Charm so I can land and then immediately get into the battle for Zone Eater. I think if you watch the whole of the seed here, this is a really good place to pause it, because VC goes to Albrecht. You see there's a cat hood there. It's obviously kind of out of range of buying it, and it's because, not looting all this stuff first. That can happen. Money can be really good, especially in these seeds with cheap rods. I don't think I found any. I think he does find some, but doesn't buy a ton of them. And then like kind of like becomes a theme of like what's going on throughout the race. But you'll notice here too as well, he's going to come back around and do all the stuff I did anyway, and we kind of end up pretty close together after like the first initial sequence here.
Balance, Albrecht, in fact. If you've been in World of Ruin, that Magitech officer would not be standing there. There's an item like right inside on the dock, so he's decided to do this in the World of Balance.
And our wonderful tracker in the background, like you all can't see it there on your screen, but we can see it back here. We've already got our first Esper from that Zone Eater check. We really didn't talk about that too much. Hopefully they will pull that up, so we'll get to see exactly what was on that Esper. One of the things about Moogle Cup is you do have a faster learning rate for your spells, and also Ultima is on
There's
the
the
table,
rods.
and it is a cheap Ultima.
I did not go
meaning that
here.
It's going to be roughly around 80 MP a cast, so definitely going to probably see some big blue bubbles in this seed.
I mean,
So
that'll definitely be worth it.
I get a little impatient here and go for it.
It depends on what we have on our Espers, or if we get luck, of course, and manage to uncurse that.
This is
lovely
definitely the worst part.
shield.
And
so
I get unlucky too, because he's actually moving away from me
to
and still
see
turns
some
and
blue
knocks me off,
bubbles.
which sucks.
And I see the bridge trolls are winning so far. Oh, I do always hate getting knocked off those bridges, but that 13,000 gold does not make sad. I think it might be worth.
Yeah, that's not a bad
knocked off.
consolation prize. There's better things,
kidding.
but
However, Zenthief
a shield
is
and
only hiding
initial
a
money
high-tier
is not
item,
bad.
and we know that because he did not say that it was.
I think we got about the
stone.
similar.
It
We
just
got
says
similar
you can
luck
have this
here,
for
which
a
is good because
nice
this isn't symmetrical.
53,000 chunk of change that we may not see. Now the price is going to be different in the World of Balance.
I'm pretty sure VC was stuck here for about a minute or two.
So if it's like something really cheap, like say under 20k, you might pick it up because it is going to be a high-tier item.
You just got to win a bunch of coin flips in a row there.
I myself am a little bit guilty. Like if it's even up to maybe say 30k and it's an item, I'll save right outside and pick it up anyway to see what it is.
So the main other divergence in between Coliseum and no Coliseum is he goes balance side Figaro and I go ruin side, and there's different stuff on the overmap. The stuff in the basement is the same. But I like the ruin side because, especially if I have to come here anyway, like I was playing this again strategy for my early to mid game strategy. I was thinking to take ruin Figaro in all instances because you get a look at what's potentially going to be discounted later, and you also don't blow the Celeste walking down and out, bit. If you decide to not go downstairs, like sometimes you get loot that's so good and you can buy stuff that's so overpowered, like up top, if you have earrings and a good Esper right away, you can actually just skip the basement completely. So I want to leave that play open. It's a very niche thing, but it could come up. So, that's why I'm going about where I'm going. But as I'm stuck here down in the cave, VC's also he's gonna come back around and do all the looks that I already did before going in here.
Because if it's one of the really we call our big sticks, like an Atmo weapon, a VK, which is a Valiant knife, Ragnarok, Illumina, those are really great for starting off. And if that's kind of worth it when those sell for, 60K roughly, somewhere between 50 and 60K in a store. If I get it for 30K, I have a great start off that I didn't have to worry about searching for. And if it's something that I don't want, I just reset.
Very true. All right, so it's a Raiden Esper as our first Esper in the Zone Eater check. Still don't know what's on it, but we will.
This is the only major risk I took in the entire game was flying without saving here. Shit happens. I tested this a bunch of times, and I'm just like, I didn't think that it was worth it. Unless I had a character. Like, if I had a character down there, I probably would have saved before I took off. But with an Esper down there, it's like I can always go back. So just went for it.
Looking at it. And now, one of the things that our runners are really going to be looking for in the shops, apart from like what we just talked about, like the big sticks and everything, Moogle Cup has cheap elemental rods. So like your fire rod, thunder rod, ice rod. And with that go-go start, once you pop a rod with Mog, you can, if you time it right with the Yeti, it's going to be a little bit more.
So that cat hood there is pretty massive. Like, there's a reason I pointed it out, in the commentary. We'll talk about it in a second. But when I saw that, I knew I could do a lot of extra shopping. If somebody could equip it, and it's one of the better items to just wear anyway. So once I hit that, I kind of was even more committed to like my skipping Coliseum play. Like, okay, I have access to a bunch of extra cash. If my opponent goes to the other side and not here, they don't get this because it's up top on the on the overmap and not in the basement. And I'm thinking, okay, well, surely there's going to be enough stuff throughout the seed and the shops to win, even if it's a jet. So I really don't want to go to Coliseum at all. And you know what? If there's Illuminas in Coliseum on like Tonics or whatever, then that sucks. I lose. But it's one of those things where if that isn't the exact thing that's going to happen, I'm actually probably going to give myself a minute or two, because you spend a lot of time in the Coliseum. Like you can get distracted. You can find, oh, I want to grab that armor. I want to grab this weapon. And then you might grab some weapons, but then like end up not using them because you don't get the other half of the combo. So when I saw this right here, I was already 95% committed to what my early game plan was. And then after I got this, I was 100%. I didn't find elemental rod, so that kind of like punished me a little bit, but I was really like leaning on that too. You have go-go, which is guaranteed. I believe commentary is going to mention that as well. I figured I'll find like ice, fire, or thunder somewhere, and then that'll carry me quite a bit. And if I had to take go-go into my final party, then so be it.
Difficult, but you can basically get free elemental rods popping off in the fight, and that's going to help them really get past those.
Do you mind if I break in for another donation, please?
Not at all. Go for it. What we got?
Excellent. Sigil coming in with another $75. Since we get to since we to get the opera both times, we need to pay again. So sing the opera the second time.
Somehow, I saw that coming as soon as you said it, Goya.
And may I also add that by going over $4,000, we broke our previous first day record of $3,998.76. So this is a new high for us on our first full day of the marathon.
Oh, yay, reaching new heights. See, that just means that we're going in the right direction.
Okay, DLK, I got something for you.
Okay.
I will willingly sing the opera if you want to meow the opera. So you take one, I take one.
You know what? I'm for that. I'm for it.
Okay.
That's good. I can do either or, because I could sing it just as well, but I am happy with whichever one. If you want to sing it and have me meow it, I will own that.
Oh, hey, I'll meow it. I'll do either one.
Again, I'm good either way. So
I mean, the only people really suffering, and I put suffering in like the air quotes that you all can't see, is them out there. I mean, hey.
Well, I mean, that's fair. Could be.
I'm here to entertain.
Well, I mean, it is our entertainment getting
my movement definitely was not as clean as I wanted it to be, but I mean, you really can't plan for playing live in nerves, but like thankfully I had played the year before live. I played in the winter marathon, which was online, and I had technical difficulties in the summer run, the first run, and I got through them. So like I was okay. I felt pretty good after like the first 5 minutes or so. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do what I do. This is a randomizer, and here it is, right? So yeah, we're basically high fiving here, but then you're gonna see me kind of branch off and do something completely different. Kind of like we kind of go for the same thing because it's the right thing to do, but also like I think where a lot of the outside of these initial decisions, where a lot of this was won and lost was noping out of stuff when it was the right decision to nope out of it and suffering through it even though you could beat it. And you're gonna kind of see that in the next 10 minutes or so, like how that goes down.
Comment on our racers, so I can see that. The audience needs some funsies too.
Absolutely. All right, so kind of watching what
You
we've
can kind
got
of see
in
like
the
the bar
chest. I know that we had a Thunder Shield
that
from
keeps
the Zone Eater check.
kind of like going
Saw we
down my
picked up an
screen, like the
Excalibur.
old school
Not too
refresh
excited
bar.
about
And I
that.
think that
It
was
is
related
money,
to the
though.
tech issue, but
We also
And
picked up
Tony
that
Ortiz also got a
I was fine
cat hood.
playing. It was there's only like one big major issue that happened, and I got through it,
As long
so
as
no
somebody
big
can
deal.
wear it, it has the elemental damage, and it also
Okay, so I save again here. Again, now I don't take
doubles
any
the money
risks
that you
about
get from
hitting
fights.
hitting
Finding
skies.
that early on, especially if you have somebody that can wear it early on, is just an absolute blessing. Especially if say like the Zen Thief or really your good weapons are also expensive.
I'm still in my set play here.
That really makes it a lot more attainable.
Whew,
And being that in the
53,000.
world of balance, it was 58. So again, I have a feeling if they can wear it,
Big
that
decision to
cat hood's
leave
gonna put
hero
in some
rings
work.
behind here. I could have bought one or
I
two.
mean, are you like me where you really just want the Yeti to be able to wear the cat hood? I think that's
Oh,
just adorable.
absolutely. I think yes. Thinking about like the big floofy Yeti and,
And I thought about it with the cat hood as well. Like I can
Yeah,
buy some
I
stuff
mean,
now
head
and
cannon.
Epic. Mhm.
Yeah.
get more money later. But when I saw that cost, I just kind of wanted to.
So
chill.
where do you think they're going to start off? Now, both have already done their Zone Eater check. I know that Tony, since he was in Narsh, did actually tag and start off the Lone Wolf, but obviously did not go up the mountain. Where do you think they're going to head at this point? I mean,
Okay.
we're still kind of limited, but
Ooh, okay, so this is a tough one. I would say I would go up the Narsh Mountain in World of Balance. One, because you get to see what's at Kefka Narsh. You get to see maybe what's behind Yeti, so if there's a character there. And then, of course, the Lone Wolf check. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be really rough because if it is a forced Kefka at Narsh, that's going to split your 3 people into 2 parties. So you're forced to do it with just 2 people. We haven't really talked about what's on Mog, like what the abilities are. So I really don't know how difficult that might be. Oh,
well,
it's
I
a
think that's
Mog
really all
ban.
going to come down to, I don't know that I've seen either of them find rods in
Of
a
course,
shop
Mog has
anywhere,
vanilla dance because the seed is from
unless
hell.
I missed it. I see we have a color.
Okay, so now here's the Coliseum, and you're gonna see right away that not going to Coliseum or the hard committing was probably not the right decision, but it often is, and I think it's a higher percentage of it is the right decision to fade it than not, and you just have to know that in the back of your mind and like, okay, go. All right, I might be behind because of this decision. I have to just make sure that I play well and I make up for it. My opponent, though, even if they're going to get better items, they are giving me a bunch of extra time to work with, and I just have to utilize that as well as I can. So this is gonna be a bunch of rapid pauses because we're gonna look through what's in Coliseum here. But you'll see that there's some really good stuff here, but nothing that does it all on its own. So there's no Illumina. There's some good weapons, but there's no relics to make those weapons really, really good. And also, VC hasn't grinded yet, so he's got a level 3 Umaro that's got to get through these fights. Sometimes these fights are tough, like if there's like an instant deathing enemy or something that's guarding one of these things, you just end up losing time here. And I thought that I want to take as much RNG out of this as possible. It's one of the reasons, on top of what I explained before, why I hard committed to not doing this.
Coliseum play going on kind of early.
So there's a Valiant Knife on Antidote, which means you basically have access to as many Valiant Knives as you want. The thing with Valiant Knife, though, is without a red cap, without an HP Esper, without an offering or a Genji glove, it's not insanely overpowered the way it is, especially in higher sets of flags, because we have access to really good magic and cheap Ultima and cheap rods. So like finding this and already have an offering is really good. But you'll see kind of like as this goes along, the VK is a little bit less risky than what I end up going with, but it also costs a ton of time to get these.
Early, but that's interesting. Maybe they can find something here. A Valiant Knife.
Oh.
I'd say that's worth it.
A Valiant Knife for
Go,
antidotes?
Teddy, go!
Yes. And Yeti's a perfect character for the Coliseum. Now with Moogle Cup, we get full.
Yeah, the good thing is I think he's got Marvel shoes on the Yeti, which is makes this a lot safer, but it doesn't, without any offense to boost here, it just doesn't increase the time. I think what ends up happening is that he sees a rage ring in the list and doesn't. You want to look through the whole list first, because if you see something like a rage ring and you have a Morrow, you definitely want to go for that first. Get that and equip a Morrow with that, and then because it gives him another it gives him a bunch of vigor, or if you see like a hyper wrist or an Alice armlet or something that's going to increase his offense, you want to get that first and then get your weapons and stuff that you're going to use later. So that's a small misstep here, but like, oh, I guess I didn't really give background either. Like, so I played in the last Moogle Cup VC. I think also did. I don't remember if he did or not because it wasn't in my group, but I don't believe he made the round of the. I don't believe he made the cut into the next round, which I did, and then I didn't have a good enough time to progress from there. So I'm not going to be playing in the next one, but he is. He's a very, very good player. I knew it was going to be tough. We did like a race before this as like a warm up kind of thing. And I won, but I only won because he had some really bad luck and died in Final Kefka, I think twice. So like he definitely deserved to win our previous race, 100%. Like very good player, very nice person. It was cool to meet him. I met Mrs. Cat as well. She was great as well. So it's like it was really cool. They're local to this area, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them again next year. Maybe they have some more time to like hang out and go get some food and things like that. But yeah, it was really cool to play somebody that was as good as me, if not better, and then also like local to the area that because they like told me about some cool local stuff to go check out and try out and everything. So, but I think that it is a little bit daunting to first of all be playing live. Second of all, when you play the Moogle Cup, you have your mentor in your ear, like watching you and like telling you when this is a good move, when this is not a good move. Like, okay, they're also able to take notes, tell you when to come back and take this thing later. When to nope out, when to stick something out or whatever. And if you don't play in a bunch of like competitive stuff on your own, sometimes, and I don't know what the background is per se with VC. I'm assuming he plays other stuff as well. I don't know what competitively, but it doesn't really compare to like playing live at an event, right? So there's nothing wrong with this. It ends up being fine. But I just wanted to highlight like the difference of the choices and like how big of a choice it is when you're gonna have Umaro to not come here. And like create that counterplay. So luckily for me, unluckily for me, I didn't go there and there was some good stuff there, but luckily for me, the good stuff and the stuff you needed to combo with wasn't there, and was kind of way out of the way, and it didn't actually end up having much of a factor on the time on the times of us. So like there's a few places where I had to spend more time because I didn't have these Valiant knives, and then you'll see it like especially at the end game. He doesn't have like the relics to really take advantage of that Valiant knife, and I kind of like maintain a consistent level of damage, despite some bad dice rolls here and there. But that's kind of like what happens with fixed dice. You'll see fixed dice coming. But yeah, like just watch how long that this Coliseum stuff takes while I get a bunch of info and like kind of like start to build a lead.
Visibility, whereas in the other flag sets, it's you say 100 items, so we can see exactly what you're going to get for every item.
Oh yeah, and if you hear the commentators drop out, that's a Discord thing. We were just dealing with it the whole marathon. Discord likes to be Discord, I guess. I don't know. So if you ever seen, if you're watching back any of these VODs and you have either audio issues or whatever, like I said, we had great tech on site. They did a fantastic job. But like we have to use the tools that we have available in Discord. Sometimes for whatever reason was just not doing what we needed to do consistently, and there was a slip of the mind in hitting local record. So all the vods of the actual broadcasts are all we have. We don't have actual like local recording, which would, I think, for the most part, be would not have that kind of stuff in it. But the Discord, I think, thing would still persist through. So that's what that is as well.
And with the Yeti also already having the Berserk status naturally, he is the #1 person to take there. So free VKs, let's go.
Absolutely.
So I come back to this shop because there's Revivifies and sleeping bags and other stuff that I want to buy, and I don't want to check any shop that I don't have to for items at this point. Maybe I'm missing rods or whatever, but once I find this stuff, I want to jet. Reducing your menuing, which unfortunately this seed wasn't really a thing that we could do, but reducing any kind of menu, whether it's your party menu, the shop menu, the amount of saves, whatever, as long as you can do it safely, it saves just a ton of time. So I think that the one edge I had was I'm maybe, if I wanted to estimate, I'm maybe like 10% ish, a little bit faster in the menuing. And I also had a run that I played earlier in the morning, so my hands were warm. I did hand exercises, like I was ready to go. I wanted to give it my best. So like if you pay attention to Boulevard menuing, I think you'll see over the course of the whole run that my menuing is just a little bit faster. I still make a bunch of mistakes, like, because again, you're playing live and you can't remember everything. You don't have somebody in your ear that's tracking everything and stuff and like thinking ahead while you're doing things. But you'll see that like my menuing is pretty good, and I practiced a lot like in the lead up. So
sometimes I mean in Moogle Cup it's
I think the only thing I'm missing here is warp stones still.
probably not as bad. And of course, right now our scaling is still very low. Generally, I'll try to maybe do 1 or 2 fights, just a grind fight to kind of get him up a little bit faster to make my Coliseum plays, go quickly. But obviously, he's doing more body slamming than swinging, so that's working out really well.
Okay, DLK, we've got a really...
So there's the Rage Ring right there. And I don't know if he gets this. And also there you have an Atlas Armlet, you have Hero Rings. These are all things, I don't know if you want to bet the Gradius, because that might be a fight that's a little rough. But the Ether, I don't think that's a bad bet. And but the key thing here is there's no Genji Glove, there's no offering anywhere. So it really underpowers the VK without 100% HP Esper and like, a lot of levels dumped into it. But yeah, I think you if you look at this whole menu, you probably go for the Rage Ring first, because that'll also make Umaro immune to fire, which is pretty good. He's guaranteed to be able to use it. And then you probably go for the Atlas Armlet second, and then you take like 2 VK fights, maybe 3.
Big question in chat
before you
from
leave
Hard
Coliseum.
Larka, and this is their first time seeing Worlds Collide, so what's the deal with it? So Worlds Collide is of course the Final Fantasy VI randomizer.
Oh, he goes for an ammo weapon. I wouldn't have went for that.
Your starting characters are randomized. What they can wear is randomized. Their abilities, pretty much everything like that is randomized. Unlike a lot of other ones, it's...
Luckily, the Sky Armor enemy does not have an instant death attack. The other like flying enemy that can pop up here in the Coliseum does, and it's often like really rough when you get that. You got to get lucky basically to either Umaru's got to evade, or you got to like kill it in like one shot.
Based on character and Esper progression to get you through the game. We're looking for 6 characters, 9 Espers to get into Final Kefka at the very end. So this is basically check based. There are...
So here's another hard strat that I committed to. I was like not gonna give Gogo any abilities until I was actually ready to take battles, because I wanted to see if I could get a free character first from his check or whatever, and see what my options were. And then now I'm doing this all inside of one menu. I also didn't save other than like a couple times the mod when it was necessary. So again, just trying to group as many things into a single menu as I can. And since now we're about to go up and fight, I don't necessarily want to take a save up top. Or at least I want the option, which is why I'm saving in a different slot. I want the option to come back to this save, because if there's absolute nothing, like say an app weapon or whatever on the wolf, and then I can't do the defense, I want to reset to down here as opposed to having to walk back down. So that's why, you know, I'm using different save slots and I'm saving down here first. And then I think up top I do take a save, but I take it in a different slot. And then the thing that we get up top is good enough to keep, and then I end up walking back
certain
down.
checks
I believe that's
that
what
go
happens.
with certain characters based on kind of, you know,
But you can
roughly
kind of
what they
see
do
like
in the
I'm
vanilla
opening
game.
up an information
And
advantage
so
here
they can reward a character, an Esper, or
by
a
not
high
going to
tier
the
item.
Coliseum.
Again, we're looking for
And so it looks like, so VC, it looks like he picked up a VK or two and then an ammo weapon, but none of the accessories, like no Atlas armlet, no Rage Ring, which arguably are the better things available, especially early game. So that's, and I mean, now you're thinking about this, you're also thinking about, you're adding to your mental stack, you're thinking about what's back at the Coliseum. And I'm just thinking about, okay, well, every battle I take gets me more money. And if I find something good in the shop, then I'm just going to buy a bunch of it and I'm good. I think that's especially playing live in a pressure situation, the more things you can take off of your mental stack, the better as well. So it's just like I said, practicing for months, thinking about this stuff, taking notes, writing things down. Or I mean, not months, but you know, like about 6 weeks or so. And I was also practicing the other game that I play, which is nothing. It's not an RPG. It's a platformer. So it's like a whole different mess of, it has RPG elements, but it has a whole different mess of like inputs and everything, and keeping your brain separated on both those things is I admire anybody who plays like multiple games and multiple randomizers, especially in the same event. Now having to do it for the first time, it was it was a wild thing. I'm glad I had the spoiler log percentage for my other runs, because if I would have had to like use my brain and remember things, I don't think I would have played as well here. But yeah, there's an advantage to it, being warmed up, being you know, getting on the tech setup earlier in the day and all that. So
6 characters, 9 Espers. So that's really what we're looking for. And each check is generally going to
hate to stop it again here, but the reason I take the Moogle charm off there is I'm only level 3, right? So I'm going to do some grinding. So check out what I do here in the grinding.
have a boss, unless it's what we call a free check, such as like Zen Thief, where you don't have to fight anything.
So save
you can
beforehand.
pretty much do it whenever.
I had to minimize
And
Discord there.
Like I said, we consider it free. From there, we will, our main,
that's me double checking to make sure I took the Moogle charm off, because like I didn't get any encounters, and that's like a long time to not get any encounters.
goal is still to defeat Final Kefka, who is in Kefka's Tower in the World of Ruin.
This battle's okay. It's more enemies than you want.
For it. You can either walk the whole tower, or you can get what we call skip, which in this flag set is 9 characters, 12 espers, or 21 checks, and that
we get the good RNG and get the AOE attack there,
or the statues in the vanilla game at the end of Final Kefka's Tower.
I want to make sure I try to get a chance to get this AOE attack off a second time,
we don't know,
because there's nothing that the ID can do that's not single target right now. So I have a chance to save like you know, an action by getting that queued in.
Okay, help me out. That is a lot to explain. So
I got 5 levels off that, which is why
that's why I didn't even
I go, okay, double check.
throw anything out. I'm like, yep,
I just
she's
threw
got
one.
this. I'll just sit back
like,
and
okay,
look
neat.
for a
That's
minute.
the only dance worth using
I
at this point.
things. I'm good at talking.
I go ahead and save since I'm already in the menu.
Don't think a lot when I talk.
Because I just wanted to check and see
really
if Surge was the first ability. The way dances work, I think the first ability has like a 50% chance or 40%. It's very high. And then the next two have like, I think it's 50, 25. It's like 50, 25, or it's like 50, 20, 20, 10, something like that. I don't know exactly, but I wanted to see if it was in the first slot. Because if it's in the first slot, it's the ability you're going to use the most. And it wasn't, but the other dances sucked, so.
Obviously, being able to get that, what we call the KT skip, which is Kefka Tower skip, is usually ideal if you can manage it.
So I already know about that experience egg,
that is an
I checked earlier.
egg.
I immediately got distracted. That's exactly how my brain works. That ADHD pulled hard. So yes, that experience egg is definitely a boon to find this early on, because, you know, that ups your experience per fight for the wielder. Definitely a big find, especially since we also got those VKs earlier, higher levels.
Yeah, now this time I did not get the mimic off, which I needed here, because these things are rough. They cast like Life Shaver and stuff on you, so I probably should have held on Mog and let the Yeti attack first and then went for it because I got another lucky surge.
For any of your melee offense is the way to go. So found a dream team. All we need.
So
is
now
an
I'm hoping to
offering
hit
now,
it
and
again,
think-
but I
think
don't hit
we're
it
just
again.
set.
I hit Sunbath, which is not what I want.
And it's going to be floating out there. The monsters and boxes that you would find in the
And I'm thinking like, okay, there's 4 of them. I know the surge isn't in the front slot. These things blind, they life shave.
The boxes are randomized amongst themselves.
It's just not worth it. I'm at level 8. Level 8's good enough to go up right now.
Oh, there's Setzer in the Yeti spot. We'll still hold the offering. It's no longer necessarily in the ancient castle where you would find it in vanilla. It's going to be in one of the other monsters and boxes, or could be in.
And one of the reasons I like grinding right up front here, as opposed to like going over to like the Figueroa cave and grinding there, is because there is a free heal here. You just have to you have to sit through this little dialogue box and run in, but you also have a save point inside, and like you don't have to land way over and fly over. So I don't think this is necessary. You see people avoid this a lot, and I don't think it's that bad, especially if you're on the balance side. So I go for it. I also made a conscious decision here to leave the once I ran from that fight, I'm like, okay, well, I can also just catch a fight up in the caves. And I think I hesitate on saving real quick, but because I just saved outside. So let me see what I do exactly. I don't.
Bosses
I think
are
I just heal.
Also randomized.
Okay, I do go in and check the item.
That you could have an Ultros fight in Kefka's Tower, or you could have one of the big statue fights.
I go to save, and then I'm like, wait, I didn't heal. I can just heal. But I really shouldn't have saved here at all. So I kind of like punted away like 15 seconds here.
Or Magimaster for that matter.
Because I just saved after.
That's your dream find, right, Dwaya? Like, oh, hey, look at this cute little
I got the XP for. And now we're gonna go ahead and grab the egg.
Yeah, that would be pretty awful, actually.
And I've got a bunch of extra
money
from that
Inferno
fight.
in the tower.
Can we not commentator curse our people? I want them to have a nice, easy run.
So let's see what we have in our Lone Wolf. We can either get fixed dice, or obviously we are going for the other option since we have those VKs, or at least a VK. I didn't see if they got more than one. Too many things going on. And what did we get? Ding, we have another Magicite. Fantastic. So we are now on our second Esper on Virtua Cat's side. I'd say that was a good choice.
Absolutely.
Now,
do you mind if I break in? Sorry, do you mind if I break in?
Okay, so we see Setzer there, so we know Setzer's the character on the other side, and then if like there's no characters on these other checks, and that's where
with another donation.
Yes, please.
I know we want to keep talking about Magimaster and how awesome he is to fight, but this goes out to one of our runners here, $50 from Euretia7. So proud.
So this is one of the reasons why this is a great play. I got a fight here that is free. So Zombones are undead. I have Revivifies, so you'll see me use the Revivifies here. We can get a bunch of EXP, and now I'm set. Like I don't need any other levels. I can just put the shoes back on, and we're good to go. And this really cut down my grind time. You'll see. I think VC takes a grind later that's a little long, and I didn't really need to do that at all. So I don't think I grind the rest of the game.
Out of my wonderful husband, Virtua Cat. Love him madly. Donation goes to Virtua Cat's choice of incentive.
Okay, that's pretty adorable.
And then also
right out, that is fantastically adorable.
And then also, just saying, for anyone who wants to donate toward the save or not save Sid incentive, about 14 minutes left before that will close. So if you want to donate for that, get those in very soon.
Yeah, I accidentally I menued to double check and just make sure I wasn't level 10, and then I forgot to re-equip the. But I remember right away. And I
thank you very much for that.
The charm here.
Well, I wonder what Virtua Cat's going to choose for an incentive. I've never actually heard a runner get to choose their own incentive. This is going to be interesting.
Okay, but my question is, do they know that?
That is a good call.
All right, take over, DLK. To the race room.
Yep. I mean, that's really good to know. So I guess I get to do things. So right now, obviously, we are seeing Virtua Cat has dropped down to the back end of South Figueroa Cave. I'm wondering if they're kind of going in there. They're probably going to wind up kind of grinding some levels out, which is a great idea because you have this recovery spring right here. And it looks like that's exactly what they're about to do. Experience egg on Mog. So that's going to be great. And
Yeah, you can kind of see on VC's side there, like the bar in the middle, like the screen, like flickering a little bit, and I think it's probably because the laptop that he was playing on also has like a higher um refresh rate. I think, and then we're mirroring to a monitor that has probably like 60 hertz only. Um, and I wonder if that had something to do. I mean, I don't know what exactly, but just fun experiments that we can run next year to try to figure it out.
Of course, on Tony's side, we see that he too has decided to get his Esper.
So, but I now when I make this choice and I see the dice go down, I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. I've got warps. I will go and get that dice for Setzer once I get, and I'll have it ready for him. But also like if I need to use it on another character, I'll have it for that as well, like on the way up. So I already know I'm gonna go get that first, warp stone back out, and then walk back into Ruin Narsh. And if I can equip that fixed dice on somebody, then they're gonna be using it in the fights to get me through.
Again, great choice. And of course, for us, we know that Setzer at this point is now at the Amara check because you saw him peek.
Okay, so he has fossil things here. I think you can revivify those as well, but maybe he doesn't have revivifies. I don't know why he wouldn't.
Peeking out of the little hole right when they were going up the mountain there at Narsh. So we know where our
Sandstorm's
characters,
tough.
as long as they paid attention, they will too. Fossil fangs. These are not generally too terrible, but right now we're looking at kind of our scaling being up a little bit. We're still kind of lower level. So some of those can be kind of gross. And it looks like Tony is actually going to try to two-man this Kefka and Narsh. I'm really interested to see whether it's going to be an item or if we're going to get ourselves another Esper. Generally doing this with
Giving me a lot of credit thinking that I can actually get through it, but I appreciate the belief.
only a two-man party is a little rough. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out.
You know what? I love this. Take those risks. High risk, high reward. Unless it's a high tier item. But yeah.
Yeah, and the argument for taking the dice instead of the unknown there is to full commit to this, but I actually did not want to full commit to this when it wasn't a character, because this check blows. And since I was already up here and I've already done the quest, I'd rather walk down and then never come back than have to walk down and then walk back up. And I definitely don't want to be sitting here doing this sequence more than once. So I actually fail miserably here at my skip attempt. And I for some reason I was just not lined up. Like in my practice, I was failing this a bunch. I don't know why. And then after I played this seed, I've have not failed it since. But but I'm also playing less as well. But for some reason, it just wasn't clicking, and this play actually ends up paying off big time.
I mean, depending on the high tier item, it may be worth it if it's a free experience egg you didn't have to pay for.
So you brought up some.
And that's just a missed input. Like that's not even bad timing. Like my timing was correct. I just went right instead of down for some reason. I don't know. Who knows?
Scaling.
And then also, this is one of the worst random encounters you can get into. These things zombie you. They have a ton of health. They don't die to. They're not zombies themselves, so they don't die to revivifies. So it's like.
So in Worlds Collide, bosses and enemies scale level-wise based on your progression. In the Moogle Cup, it is 2 levels for each point of progression. So for each runner, since we have 3 characters and 2 Espers, our bosses are at level 10. And that looks like a nope from Tony doing the Kefka Narsh check. I saw, what was it, Orogs, which is actually very nasty. So yes. I'm kind of glad he noped out of that and is heading back down the mountain.
This kind of plays into what I said earlier. One of the things I wanted to make sure I did was set myself up to be able to just reset out and leave anything that was not required, basically, right? So I'm like, I know that check is not going to be required. Is very, very low percentage, like that I have a 9th Esper, because again, even though you might need an Esper or whatever, your 9th Esper or whatever, it's not going to be gated behind. You can always get another character and then go to their checks afterwards. So like anything like that that's just an item or an Esper, you have other options, and that's a crappy option to try to sit through. Like, okay, even if I reset and I go and do those sequence again, and I get through the check. What happens if the boss is gross? And then now I can't do it, and I've just wasted more time. So I'm like, all right, not only do I nope out of here, but I can easily make the commitment in my mind, like, I'm not coming back here no matter what. Maybe I'll come back and do Moogle defense, but I'm not going back up the mountain on this side.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was, kind of, if it was something that was easy, he probably could have got his grind fights there to get some early levels, just by.
So I already had my early levels. Like once you're at a level 11, you're pretty much safe to go ahead and go through the rest of the stuff and get another character. But it's a good point though, because if I get through there and I get an Esper, my scaling does go up and I don't have a whole lot of extra strength, right? I'm going to pick up this dice, but I don't know if anybody can use it because in the base game only Setzer can. But I know that it's going to be useful for sure, because I'm picking up dice that doesn't increase my progression on its own, and I'm picking up Setzer at the end of the sequence of Ruin Narsh. And now that I've seen this, the only other possibility for a character is going to be the Moogle defense check, and I can always circle back to that later. I know where an actual character is. I have a plan to get all 3 of the Yeti checks done in one shot, and I go ahead and execute
Fighting the soldiers, but also, it's nice to be able to get that check out of the way and come down the hill, just by being put in Arbus's house at the end. So that could have also been a factor in checking it. But definitely a good choice with those nasty enemies to just say nope and bail out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this tumbleweed fight is actually great for experience, and with those experience eggs on, that's going to really help out with that scaling issue. Once you get above...
So I do have a little bit of extra money now, and I'm going to basically take a chance finding good relics. I was basically looking at Albrecht and Albrecht here, but then I thought about it and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do balance Albrecht because I can just parlay this into like a bunch of other stuff. Like if I come here and there's nothing, here's what I was thinking at the moment. If I go balance Albrecht into this Albrecht, okay, fine, but I waste a bunch of time in the shops and I don't actually have any extra money. I'm not getting any extra money in between the visits. So let me just go to the ruin side. Let me check here. And then if there's nothing here and I need to think for a minute or two, I can go save Sid, or I can, whatever. If I have to flip back over, okay, I'll flip back over, I'll check it or whatever, and then I can go do opera and think or whatever. But I was just for whatever reason, I was just like, all right, I want to keep my shopping to a minimum. Let me bet on one side or the other. I know I have to flip over and do Yeti, and I can turn right back around and go, south through to the north side of the map. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to check this one. And this is nothing, I got the dice and we'll just try to do it with the dice.
Enemy scaling, it's pretty much free sailing.
Yes, and that's right where we want to be. And that's, of course, why we talk about, getting our grind fights earlier, trying to get some experience on our characters. Because if you can stay ahead of the scaling, you're not gonna struggle as much. You're gonna get through these fights a lot faster. Basic, anybody who's played an RPG, when you get kind of ahead of the level,
and sometimes you just find what you need, and that's all I was looking for was earrings.
That you need to be at, it is smooth sailing. You can pretty much just keep moving.
Well, I was also looking for elemental rods too, but
moving with it and enjoy the story. In this case,
unfortunately here, I don't actually have any money to buy elemental rods, so I don't bother looking.
Obviously, they want to have that smooth sailing so they can enjoy getting all those checks without having to struggle through them.
Yes, Dr. DT, I believe those are the ones that can drop
Oh, I did look.
balls.
Yeah. I did look. I didn't check the armor shop, but I did look for
This is a
rods.
randomizer, but yes, I think they are the ones that drop super balls.
That's all I'm looking for here is I'm looking for rods.
Well, I mean, in that case,
and warp stones. I find warp
Revivifies
stones.
would
Cool.
be fantastic.
I mean,
Now I have to think about it. And I'm like, okay, well, the main decision now I have to think about with shopping is, do I look at item shops and weapon shops looking for rods? And it kind of, every character I find is less likely I'm going to do that because I'm less likely to keep go. And if I find 1 or 2 good nuke spells on a Esper, I've got my earrings. I think I'm good. And there's a decent chance I can find Ultima, and if we find Locke, we can get Ultima as well. So that does come up, and then it like immediately goes away because we find. I think I grabbed her shield, and then I find the next Esper I find has Ultima on it, so I just ditched that plan. But
would have been fantastic too.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that little bit of game knowledge goes a long way. No, as far as I know, enemy drops are not randomized in this version. They are still true to the vanilla, which also means, in terms of fighting bosses, for instance, we jokingly call him Spicy Chicken, or my child has lovingly called him Satan's Poultry, Poltergeist. You can still steal a red jacket from him. You can still, if you get the rare steal,
And I'm just following through my
get
plan
a
here
Genji glove
to go get the dice and
from
warp. Especially now
Dullman.
that I found warp
So
stones, I think it's
all of
a
our drops
no-brainer,
and things
correct
that
way
can
to
be
do
stolen
this.
and taken from them are still
Because again, I don't have weapons, so.
However, there is a flag that you can turn on that will randomize the enemy drops.
And you can kind of see here, one thing again, pointing out about the Coliseum play is like the VKs and ammo weapon do nothing right now because you don't have the stats to be able to take advantage of them. It's nice to get those fights in while the scaling's there, but not going for the Atlas Armlet, the Rage Ring, and so on. If you go to Coliseum, you really kind of have to commit hard to grabbing everything that's good. And I think that let's see. I want to see him equipped because maybe he did grab some of the stuff and I didn't catch it, but because I know what I'm doing here, I'm grabbing dice, but I just want to see what the equipment situation is here.
So, it's a very versatile randomizer. We just we don't mess with it too much, basically so that they don't get too much power. Because you get a Lobo that drops Illuminas, and whew, that's going to be one crazy seed.
Well, like I was mentioning before, and like you mentioned also about going and getting stuff for the second half of our Lone Wolf check, it looks like Tony Ortiz has decided he wants those fixed dice.
And they're going to mention that I didn't check the item location, and I totally forgot there was one. My mentor, Taylor, definitely told me that, months ago, and I just, throughout all the practicing of the MOG start, I just didn't remember that there's an item check there. I don't know what was there, but, hopefully it was nothing. I don't think I've ever. I could probably find I could go and find the seed and check it just to have fun. But yeah, I definitely forgot about that.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all, especially this low in the seed.
Oh, absolutely. Another thing that would have been useful, which I guess he was not aware of, is actually the spot in the wall where the Moogle charm normally is actually has an item there. So he also could have checked the wall for some kind of item.
Yeah, and in the back of my mind, I knew that, but I was practicing on my own, and I just didn't. I did not remember that.
So basically, thinking of it as an extra.
I'll probably never forget it now, though.
Chest. So who knows what that could have been?
Okay, yeah. So here's Welk, and this fight's awful.
Very true. Ooh. Okay, so the Welk, first boss of the game. Generally,
VC not having Go-Go with abilities here is he probably just forgot. Because you definitely want to at least have like magic and item up on Go-Go and not have Mimic be the only thing. Because he just menued. I didn't see him do equipment and stuff either. So maybe he resets out of this. I can't remember.
Pretty easy.
From when I watched it yesterday.
Now we do have the scaling issue, but we also have that Thunder Shield. Don't want to attack the shell, so whenever he grews, you definitely want to not.
He's already used a Thunder Rod as well, and I don't think he went back and bought any more rods over the course of the run. But again, I've only watched it back the one time, and it was yesterday. So
attack.
And it was late. I was in bed because the vods came up at midnight, so I watched it and then fell asleep.
Now with the Yeti, you can control that some by running, which will stop him from attacking.
Yes, that is actually very useful, and unfortunately, I don't think the Virtual Cat is thinking of that in this moment. Otherwise, I'm sure that he would have been doing the running.
Yeah, so I'm aware of that, but you'll see in my fight here that I actually I decided not to do it because the Yeti's my only source of actual damage. So, but I probably should have run canceled at the end. I don't actually get bolt 3'd, I think, a single time, which is pretty good.
But yes,
so I'm gonna take a save here.
Anything like, for instance, the same
and
thing.
Check what this dragon is. If it's a dragon that I can kill easily, I'll kill it.
Fight.
And if it's not,
you want to make sure that it gets to the demon form, so you're having to wait for it to swing or attack your party first before it transitions to its demon form. And so at that point, especially if you have the Yeti in the party, you're not going to want anybody to hit it because then it will counterattack. So yeah, if you're running, your Yeti can't attack, and so that kind of alleviates the issues around his auto attacking ability.
Yep. Instant reset.
All right, so
Blue Dragon was the one. I might have reset gold as well. But blue is definitely a reset, and Dwayne's going to explain to you why.
Out of that blue dragon fight, and the reason is blue dragon is a very nasty
Or be
dragon
okay.
to get early on because almost everything it does is AoE, and at this level, it's just going to decimate his party.
So now we're in
Devastate.
now we're in the
We're not
dice
doing
room.
I mean,
here.
both. I mean, realistically, both. Both of those words work.
We're in the dice room.
You're obviously just showing off your vocabulary.
I mean, I'm on comms. I'm supposed to be talkative. That's what I do, right?
That's true.
So this Umaro hit is really good, but if it was like 300 to 400 more HP, I think it gets the kill by itself.
Ooh, so this Welk is really giving. Oh, that 2200 is not sad. It looks like those dice are putting in work already.
You know what? Sometimes we call those scam dice, but right now they're working for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it
So I
also
probably
depends on the
should
person.
run
If you
here.
have someone like our physics shebang, they are definitely scam dice. That poor man, never a good roll. They hate him.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, nah,
Like, in this case,
shield's too good. But my Umaro's also slowed, so I really don't
DM
have
Stewart
to.
in chat knows exactly what I was talking about.
indeed.
I should run right now, but
And Sigil saying fixed dice are always a scam. You know, they really, really
Fixed Dice literally win me this race, so I can't complain about them ever again, I guess.
are.
They've always been good to me.
They almost lose me the race though, so I guess maybe I can, because there's some fights where I'm throwing dice and it's just 300 damage, 300 damage, 300 damage. It's pretty hilarious.
So I can't say anything when people talk with scam dice. I'm like, I mean, we're not going to talk about how many things they've gotten me out of.
So I just want to point out, and this is kind of tangential to what we're talking about, but that is a good looking Moogle hat that I see on the live stream there. And I want to say shout outs for Karant for wearing that.
Krant knows how to show out with his hats. We do enjoy them.
Absolutely.
And that Moogle hat for the Moogle Cup? How apropos.
Yeah. Little does he know I've got my Moogle hat on too. Alright.
So you can see this stupid cast for 150 gets the kill. So if I roll like 1 or 2 higher on the dice, I just save like a minute.
Okay, gets out of that Welk fight. A very nasty Welk.
Oh, look at that. Same time they get out of this fight. Very interesting. So now we're really on an exciting moment because it looks like they're basically tied out on time.
So this is a huge divergence, and there's a lot of little stuff, of course, that all adds up to why somebody wins or doesn't win. RNG is a huge part of that, of course. It's a randomizer, but with the going to get the dice first, I kind of gave my lead back, right? And I'm going to go ahead and give more time back here because I'm going to go kill the dragon before I get Setzer, which this is totally skippable. But with that Thunder Shield, I can basically just make sure one character survives, and I just chemist them, and Umaro's going to do the work for me here.
And it looks like we have an item. We get a Genji glove. Okay,
Yeah.
well.
So I don't like seeing that because I know that VC is going to see this too, and I'm like, okay, well, if there's good weapons at the Coliseum, then that's not good for me for this to be here early. Like if he's got double Ragnarok or double Illumina, that's bad. But I know at least I have dice, so I should be okay. And then we'll see how it plays out.
Well, at this point, Virtual Cat knows where some VKs are. I don't believe Tony has been to the Coliseum, so he has not seen those yet.
And I did not tell anybody my strat. I didn't tell my mentor. I didn't tell anyone what my plans were. I had my strats ready to go. I had a notepad. That was it. I was not sharing my strats with anybody. I didn't ask for any advice. I didn't have anybody look over them. I went 100% in. I'm a theory crafting person, so I was never going to go to Coliseum, especially once I found that cat hood. Like, it just wasn't going to happen.
Yet. So at this time, Virtual Cat has better chances to be able to use those.
Yeah.
So Thunder Shield to Yeti here. He's just going to solo this
VK
dragon
because
without
maybe
issue.
Nobody can use it. So hopefully this Setzer can. If not, we know absolutely that he is a natural fixed dice user.
ABCD.
So
always be
that will definitely go in their
crushing
favor.
dragons.
And it looks like taking on this blue dragon again.
And every time Umaro charges instead of throws dice, it's basically guaranteed less damage. So, you know, Umaro trolls me a bit, the dice troll me a bit, but, you know, it ends up working out.
I mean, I don't hate it. Doubling back to try to get that experience is not sad, especially if you have a few things that you can work with. I mean, he's just gotten some, you know, a couple of levels under his belt, so maybe. Those AoEs still make me nervy, though.
Oh, they make me very nervy.
Oh, look, 168 damage. Neat.
Of course, he also has those fixed dice, and we have a single target, so
There's that.
if we're using them.
We just got to be able
Poor
to survive those AoEs.
Alrighty, so let's see what we have at the Umaro spot. Oh, it's matching up!
Guys, frickin' called it. You all are terrible people.
This becomes a pattern.
I totally didn't say anything at all.
All the evil
You all
bosses
should
at
be
all
ashamed of
all
yourselves.
terrible
They
spots
can't watch
is a
this back,
theme of
right?
this seed. It is pretty funny.
They just
If there was a camera on me,
don't wanna
you'd
watch
see
it
me
back,
shaking
they
my head
can't
for
watch
50% of this thing.
Okay, so fantastic use of the landslide dance. Magimaster cannot become immune to that damage, but we need that Yeti to body slam.
Alrighty, well, we got through the blue dragon, so that's great. But yes, the bright side is for Tony in this case, he's got those dice, and those dice.
And that's an Illumina. And I don't believe VC finds any of them. I think he finds Ragnarok somewhere. But the Illumina lets a character sit in the back row, parry everything. It's just one of the most insane items in the game. So right there, I'm like, all right, this paid off. And then also Mog can use it, which is pretty important.
Or something that. Oh, and he just got an Illumina as well. Oh. Well, we found one of our big sticks, so that's nice. That is a good find, being that he has not seen the VKs yet. But going against that Magimaster
Yet,
and him
as
having
if I
those
ever
dice
will.
already, that is going to give him a leg up in that Magimaster fight in comparison to Virtua Cat. Especially since, like you said, we're not seeing anyone wield our Valiant Knife, which the Valiant Knife overlooks defense and is basically automatic hit. So you would be able to do the damage automatically without having to worry about any of these walls that you can see Magimaster floating around with.
Yeah, so let's talk about this boss. So in the vanilla game, he's at the top of the Fanatic's Tower, which you can only use magic in. And every time you attack him, he does this wall change that will change what he absorbs and what he's weak to and what he nullifies. Without scan, we don't know that. However, he is weak to one important spell, and that is Berserk. If you Berserk him, he becomes a little kitten.
You can also reflect him. And then he casts stuff that's way less lethal, and that's another way to like kind of blow up his script. But yeah,
that you can just beat up on, like the monster that you are if you beat up on kittens. However, with that Yeti, if that Yeti will at least get one wall change out, and that can kind of make your day rough. So what you really want to do is, like DLK said, you want to do stuff that does non-elemental damage and ignores defense if you're using a physical weapon like dice or like the VK. Now, unlike in the vanilla game, we have turned off the...
So I basically go for a miracle swing with the Illumina here, and it's if he happens to change himself to being weak to Pearl, this will one-shot him basically at this level. And, you know, assuming I proc, and I do, but it does, it's like a 1 in 8 chance, I think, because I think there's 8 elements.
On our Ultima. So, and that's basically because there's no guarantee that you're going to get the Life 3 spell, so that could very easily lock the game. So you don't have to worry about that, thankfully. And oh, look at who we have. We have a Strago.
The old man
I feel like
haunts
they're
me in
just
my
finding
dreams.
all the best characters today, aren't they?
So speaking of Strago, that unlocks 3 checks. That's going to unlock the Fanatic's Tower that we were just talking about. It's going to unlock the Burning House check in Thamasa. And it is also going to unlock Ebbets Rock, or what we call RNG Cave, in the World of Ruin just north of Thamasa.
if I can barge in really quickly, just wanted to say that the incentive for save or not save Sid is now closed, and the winner for that with $214 was Save Sid. Also
Right.
got a couple of donations. One of them $6.31 from me, Rubes. $6 for the 6 seconds Luffy beat me by in our race. I'm not bitter about that at all. But an additional 31 cents also to even it out, so we have an even dollar amount. We're putting it toward the Ascension level and Slay the Spire on Sunday. And then $25 from Dr. DT saying Sid did nothing wrong. I'm assuming that was for save Sid, but he's saved, so I guess we're good there. But one other important
Dice trolling me pretty hard there. And also Maro charging instead of throwing the dice, which is great.
announcement. Leadership has announced that if we reach $10,000 by the end of the marathon, we will get leadership karaoke.
Oh,
So that is
boy.
an even bigger incentive to donate, because don't you want to hear everybody sing?
What are you going to be singing?
I'm just shaking my head.
I will gladly
That's
sing with you
important
guys. I don't know what
Yes.
they'll sing, but I'm sure it'll be something fantastic. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Back
Looks
to
like
you.
VC forgot about the water part.
Oh,
and
no
had,
apologies. We definitely love hearing about those
It- it-
donations
good-
and what our wonderful community is giving.
Well, I guess
for
you don't
great
actually have to do
cause.
it in that order. but
So that is never sad to be interrupted for.
it's about the same.
Exactly. All right,
I'm
so back to
I'm
our regular
still
scheduled
fighting
programming.
Magimaster
We've
over
got
here.
Magimaster still being a jerk. However, he's throwing out those bolts, which is definitely good for that Mog with the Thunder Shield. And Yeti is just flinging those dice, but hey, scam dice, imagine that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they scammed me pretty hard
I
in this
guess you
fight.
just have to be the right people.
But they work out pretty well in some other fights. There's
But
one other
those
fight that they
dice are
scammed me
doing some
real
work.
hard,
They've
but
obviously helped him get through some other things. I guess they're just tickling Magimaster for the moment.
You know, I guess I
I'm-
just don't pray hard enough to RNGs.
I'm like trying to drain his MP here. I'm like,
That
oh,
could
I'll
be
drain
it.
his MP
oh,
actually.
No.
Oh,
Doomed Yeti. Oh.
So I don't know what happened there exactly. I think I saw the screen I was connected to do this, and that's what they were capturing. Obviously, is that screen that we were mirroring our video to. But like, mine was fine, right? So like, I was fine here. That's not the big tech issue.
Poor Yeti.
okay, that's okay. We can still get out of here. And-
Yep, it's still possible.
Okay, so let's talk about what we're seeing on Virtua Cat side. We saw Seraphim in the tomb, and we've got slots on Strago, and Virtua Cat is throwing out those H-bombs with the slot like it's nobody's business.
I apparently need to have a session with him about that because I'm terrible with slots and cannot land a single thing half the time. So it would be nice to check.
So the reason that the Mog's doing 0 damage there is the Excalibur does holy damage, like on every swing, not just on the proc, and then it's immune to everything but ice. Which is one of the reasons I sold it, because it's, unless you're gonna throw it, it's almost always useless. There's not like much in the game that's weak to holy. There's a few undead bosses. That's it.
out these skills that he's got going on because he's at least hitting matches left and right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Magimaster goes down on Tony Ortiz's side, so we are moving along there. Pretty sure he is glad to finally get his character, get his setzer, and move along.
Absolutely. And on Virtua Cat side, it is Flame Eater down, so we're going to get that Seraphim Esper.
I'm actually really glad to see characters with bad abilities at this point, because I think it actually benefits me, considering the strats that I used at the beginning. Just like, basically putting the putting it all on magic and like, decision making and like things like that, I think is a bit better. Like, I feel like if like he had shock or something, that I probably would have been like, all right, cool. So I'm probably just behind now. But at this point I'm thinking, well, if I've given time back from the dragon, and if there's good stuff at Coliseum, then okay, I think I'm still probably in pretty good shape. So
And folks,
at this point though, I don't feel that good, especially after all those scam dice.
that one little character block on both sides where they just needed to find that fourth character, and they have both done so.
I'm very interested to see what Virtua Cat is going. Oh, we just got ourselves a Search the Skies for free, and it just so happens that.
So this is actually really bad. I don't think VC saved, and that's why I took this instead of noping out of this, because you don't really have the strength to deal with this right now. The dice would have actually helped a lot here for him, but
Yeah, the giant fiery chicken is up in the sky. So this is not exactly something I would want to run across early on, randomly without expecting it, but getting that Search the Skies might give him an Esper that could give him another leg up that it's very possible Tony may not get. Then again, we have Setzer, so the fact that it just happened rather than being used, fate.
Absolutely. So, Poltergeist and Search the Sky.
so the reason I do this to unequip Amaro first is because I know I'm dropping Amaro for Strago no matter what. So I just want to get his gear off so I don't have to go back and take that gear off. Unfortunately, I end up having to do that anyway for what happens a little bit later. But
Search the Skies is a Setzer tech, like you were talking about. However, you can still run into it randomly without ever finding Setzer, which is what happened.
I don't put the
It can only
shoes
reward
back on though
an
because I
Esper
kind
or
of
an
forget
high-tier
when I make my
item.
next save.
As having a character fall out
I'm
of the
supposed
sky,
to put
would
that
just
Moogle
be,
charm back on
kind of weird.
when I make my next
But
save.
also in the vanilla
And I'm
game,
supposed to put it on
rewards Esper.
Go-Go and move earrings off of Go-Go so I don't have to worry
Poltergeist is
about
quite nasty.
I'm
As
equipping
one of
Go-Go, and I
the
kinda forget
final
to do that as
bosses
well.
of the actual vanilla game, he's one of the statue
Mistakes are
bosses.
inevitable. It's just, it's
He
just going to be how
absorbs
you deal
fire.
with them.
Is oddly weak to poison. You would think it would be ice, but it's actually poison.
So the reason I
Can
do
be
this
stopped,
movement is so that I can't get into the
which
this
is
guy's
always
fight
a
here.
very nice way to play. But he's got very high magic defense. I
So
don't
right here
know
I'm
if he has
supposed
safe and
to
shell or
relic
if
up
it's just
Strago
shell. But very
correctly, and
nasty boss
I
to
just
run
don't.
into.
Or do I? No, I do.
Definitely not one you want to run into. when
There's
you're
some
not
point where
prepared for it.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, we've got some
Forget to
spells
put
under our
the
belt to get our party
stuff
back
back
up,
on.
which is beneficial. That life too, I'm certain is going to be doing plenty of work.
I forget to give him an Esper though,
The Yeti
which is a
obviously
mistake.
will do pretty well with this. So
That was an input error.
That's a nice way
I'm
to
one
go
screen.
about it,
I'm
but
one screen behind where I was
it is
supposed
not
to do
being
that.
kind right now.
Man, this is a fight that I would probably nope out of. However, I don't know when they last saved, so that might not be the best option.
That is true. I've not been paying as much attention to when our players are saving, but most of us are at least a little bit guilty from time to time of going, "Oh, we're okay for right now."
Yeah, I do make a
And
mistake
then
with the
winding up
red
in a
jacket in the
situation
end
where
game.
we have to try to,
I put the red
muscle
jacket and
through
the
it.
Thunder Shield in the same character,
Yeah, that's never happened to me before.
which you don't need to
anything.
do, but
DM
it
Stewart
ended
having
up
a
not
question, has
mattering
Virtual got an offering?
because
No,
I wasn't on
nobody's
Merton
found an
strats
offering
anyway.
yet.
Because we had spoiler alert, we get Ultima, so
I'm
just
also
bunch of input
wondering
errors
if
from
our
me there. That's good.
racers,
I'm on tilt for
realize
Magic
the
Master still.
incentives have been met
Yeah, just look how much time VC's giving me back here
and know
with
that they have to do the opera
not being able to nope out of this fight.
and
You know?
save Sid.
I'm assuming it's because
I
he didn't
will
save.
bounce on over to the room and give a reminder on that. Or nope, you know what? You've already done it. See, look at you.
I know,
my
but I don't know if they've seen it, and that kind of worries me because listen, I'm looking forward to meowing this opera.
oh, now you're like, I'm looking forward to meowing it. So you've decided to meow it. I get to sing. Okay.
Hey, you put yourself out there
I mean, I
As
did
vol-
kind of.
as volunteer.
So that save
as
right there is
tribute,
just in
as
case
they
like
say.
we want to try the boss again
I
for
did,
whatever
I
reason.
did.
We have a save
So,
outside if we need it.
Ah, it's like a Hunger Games moment. I put myself out there. I volunteered as tribute.
Mm-hmm. May the
Yeah.
odds be ever in your favor.
Really well executed slots, I have to
Obviously,
say.
they are today.
PC is better at slots than I am.
Alrighty, and he makes it through. Good going on
But he
that
just
Virtua Cat.
I got a
know
lot
if
of time
would
back there,
figure
and
that
I
one.
have
That
a
is
dragon down,
tough
and I have an
chicken.
Illumina in my back pocket
and
as
with
well.
what
So
they had available, that's
we're
a
kind of
little
just
scary. And
we're
of
sitting
course,
here even.
the old man is the one
For the
still
most part.
standing.
And you'll see when I go to do that check later, I
You
save it for when
know,
I'm actually
there's some justice there.
able to crush
There
it.
we
Oh,
go.
man,
Show
putting in
for our
work.
effort. That's not too bad.
So to jump in with another quick donation, we have $25 from Tara. Yes, that's my real name. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Well, you know what I always say, Tara's best girl.
No, this is true.
And you can see
mean, you
what the
proved
Illumina
it.
is doing right now
I
at
did.
like a very lower level, where the VKs and the
So
ammo
yes,
weapon are not doing
we ended
anything
up getting
yet.
ourselves another
They will do
esper,
stuff later,
so
but
that
right
is
now,
fantastic to
they don't
find.
do much of
I'm
anything.
wondering what's going to be on it. Hopefully we'll see that here soon. And it looks like Tony Ortiz just got his Seraphim. So moving right on along.
Yeah, once I see this, I'm basically committing to Strago.
Looks like we are
I'm giving
shopping
him.
around.
I've
in
already
Moss.
got
I can't
speed
really blame
levels
them.
on
The Moss is
the other
actually a really
characters,
good place
and so
to
Strago being
kind
slow
of
now
loot
doesn't
and
hurt
buy
as
from
bad.
because you have all of the different types of shops.
So I'm just gonna give him magic power, and he's gonna be a mage. And I haven't committed yet. Mog can use the.
Oh,
again, that's why I say
Ortiz
it.
is about to find out.
Here it comes.
Dun,
Yep,
dun,
you
dun.
know. Good decision, sir. Good decision. Where did we pick an Atma weapon up from? Excuse me. Where was that from?
Coliseum.
Was that from the Colosseum?
Yep.
I think there might have been one in the Coliseum, but otherwise, I'm not sure. Maybe they found it in a barrel somewhere. See,
So
this is
here
why
I'm
we
like,
get so
okay.
distracted because we're so excited about what's happening that we lose track of the smaller things.
We've already
that are
cleared all
not
Setzer's
actually so
checks.
small.
I know that
An
Poltergeist.
RNG key.
The Search the Skies check can't be a character. I just want my last character. I want to see what part of the world is going to be open, right? So I know Strago has a character somewhere. I don't want to do Tower, so I'm just going to dive in, and I'm going to do these either way. Even if the character's at Tower, I don't have the magic to do the Tower, so I don't think there's any point in even looking. And that's the reason why you don't see me go check Tower, because I know with just like Bolt 2, I can't. There's no way I'm going to be able to kill the dragon and do the boss at the top, even if there's a character there. And I might not even want that character depending on who it is. So like if I can find another character, and so on and so forth, and have to do these other checks, and I'm just going to do them. And I'm also thinking like I didn't like that Magic Master fight. I didn't like how many checks we've had to nope out of. I'm also again never going back to Can. So I'm thinking, all right, maybe now is time to take a chance on the other two Strago checks. And I also have this thing again. I've got these strats ready. I've got counterplay in my mind. Burning House is one of the checks that we go to the absolute least. It's like the river. It's like there. So I'm thinking, okay, if RNG Cave is garbage, then maybe Burning House is my play because I think my opponent's not going to go there.
I like it. I like this check actually.
I would like it a lot
I hate
more
all
if it
Strago's
gave
checks.
me
They're all
more than
terrible.
like somewhere between 1 and 3 coral every box. If I see a 5 box, I'm like, it's my lucky day. This will not happen for the next 3 months.
So you want to explain some RNG Cave?
Alrighty, so with RNG Cave, we have a chest that is blocking our way to the boss at the end of this cave, and we have to find a total of 22 corals. So as you're going through this, you are hitting your buttons, going to your next spaces, opening all of the chests until you count up and have the 22. If you try to turn it in early, that nasty, greedy chest will eat all of your coral, and you have to start all over again. So you want to make sure that you have those 22 before you talk to him. And once you give him that, he's like, yay, my tummy is full, and he runs.
Oh, another thing I should point out as well is the seed's been fairly linear, right? Like I have noped out of stuff, but I haven't noped out of anything that's been a branching path either. So I basically have to, I'm basically in my head, I'm thinking, okay, my opponents went to Coliseum. I'm almost positive, right? They've probably done all the stuff I've done. Maybe they haven't noped out of some of the stuff I've noped out of. Maybe they have. So like, what's my advantage here? My advantage is going to be counterplay. And I know that the Burning House, despite not, being terrible, is a better move than, because spoiler alert, I'm going to nope out of this check as well because it's like Goddess or something, I think. But I know that the Burning House is like, okay, I'm going to grab some levels maybe. There's a chance something good's there, of course. It's technically about the same time as the Magic Tower, and I don't have to worry about magic because I've got an Illumina and I've got dice, and I want to use those things. Now, if I keep the Yeti in my party, I can have him throwing dice on my way up the tower and all that. But again, I really, all I have is Cure Magic, and I've got Bolt 2. And that's just, I don't think that's good enough. I don't have rods. So I make the play, the counter play. It ends up paying off.
And you get to
but
go up and fight your enemy.
having to do this check twice is never fun.
Now, one of the little things for anyone who has not really noticed as we're doing this, it's actually pretty easy to find out whether or not the screen that is coming up for you is going to have a box or not. The transition between, you know, black to picture is actually slightly faster if it comes to a screen that does not have a box. So you're kind of prepared before you even go to whether or not you're going to be looking for a box.
Yeah, I think
We
I
have
think I go
goddess.
to
Wow,
This
this
I
team
go to
is
fight
pulling
here.
out the stops, Dwyer.
Fantastically
if-
awful.
a character on the left
You
gets
know,
love token, I don't care and I
you know,
just kill
I'm
them. But
guilty
if a
of
character on the right
telling
gets love token,
Blue
I'm noping out. That's basically
that
what
I
happens
should
here.
have, you know, I told him that he should have you roll the seed because yours are statistically
Yeah, and
meaner,
I get a love token
and
right
that's,
away, and it's a
you
character
know,
that
the
matters.
community
So.
really loves to watch people suffer, and
I've already
you
queued an
have
attack.
outdone yourself.
I'm just thinking like, okay, can
you
I
have
kill
had
this
to
without
really
my
outdone
weapons?
yourself. You did.
And I know I can't, so I'm
I
bouncing.
did do this. Fantastic. I'm so proud of myself.
Because again, this boss absorbs lightning.
Pulling out all the
And that's the
stops.
only
You just
offensive magic
want
I
to
have.
showcase all of the excellent skills that these players have overcoming some of the worst bosses, and they are definitely going for it. But it
I also
looks like
took the
Tony Ortiz
longer to
went,
fly
"Nope,
there.
a little big for me
first
right
time,
now,
which
so
was
let me
dumb.
go check some other things out." I wonder if we're going to get a Burning House play.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of limited now.
Yeah, and I think in this exact
we do
scenario
have
where I don't have good magic,
an Esper with Merton on, but
and
we
my
don't have
only good
full Merton
offense that gets
protection.
around magic is Yeti, with
That is
dice.
true. Although
I don't wanna
we
be
at least
going in
have
a
a couple
tower.
of things to get us there. We did pick up a red jacket. Both players did pick up a red jacket in Daryl's tomb. So
Yeah,
one person
you see me
taken care
skip the
of. We
item
have
shop
that
there.
thunder shield that also helps. So just
I
trying to find
probably
a
should have
couple
checked
more
out the
things,
rods,
and we
but
might actually get to see a Merton seed.
I love
because
good
I thought
Merton
rods
seed.
could only
Now,
appear in
this
weapon
is not the
shops, but I
party
guess
for
they
a
can
Merton
actually
seed,
appear in item
unfortunately,
shops
but,
as well.
You know what? You take
And
what you
I
can get.
think I've seen it happen.
I mean,
just, you know,
we still
just
have to
haven't noticed it.
find more characters. We are
So
one character
Strigo
shy of
actually
what
has
we
two
need,
branching
so
paths here.
depending
He
on
has
who we find,
two different
it
characters
may
in two
become
different
a lot more
locations. One is
viable.
actually at the tower. But there's
Oh
also
my gosh,
one here.
Harkalarka is
so.
now one of my favorite people ever.
Hey, I got bad with
because
one
they just
flame.
made a Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds reference, and all I can hear now is red.
So they're gonna say that I shouldn't take this fight. But the thing about machinery enemies is that they're all weak to lightning, and I have Go-Go and I have Bolt 2. And I know I've had to nope out of some bosses, so I'm a little bit behind on the XP and where I want to be. And I have an XP egg as well. And also I have a really garbage character in Strago. So like I need to grab levels. He's got a magic power +1. So I'm just like, okay, if I'm not like pincered or back attacked, I'm gonna take this.
Right hand in my mind.
Indeed.
Okay, Enox, we need to run from this fight because of this move right here, the Brain Blast. And while it missed one character, this is you nope out of this fight very quickly.
I mean, but they took it down. So
They did, but it has the potential to be devastating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not good, but the thing is, if you can one round it, it's not a big deal. And my Mogs had this speed Esper on basically the whole time. I think Raiden had like his normal speed boost. It's either that or the second Esper or Rama. One of those two has a speed boost, so he's taken the first action, like unless I'm pincered. And then like from there, somebody's gonna finish it, right? Like I'll either be able to mimic the bolt or he'll get another turn and be able to cast Bolt 2 again, and like the other two won't be able to kill my party. The only real big risk would be if Setzer gets blasted before and then dices. But again, you can just roll low.
It is definitely a scary play. But
I
they
almost
managed to
timed that
chance
right to
through
get
that.
that balloon.
Man,
Yes,
even
the balloons, those are not as bad.
They
Yeah,
aren't
but
bad.
but this is a pincer and it takes a long time, so I'm just going to use my smoke bombs here.
Even this Burning House is nasty with those Enox. Are we gonna see like a Doom at the end? Doom
I am quite
Games?
curious. Now, I think Virtua Cat did actually end up having
And then
to
the flame
back
walks all the way
out
up to get me
of
anyway.
the, RNG cave. I
Getting
do not
trolled
think that
here.
we actually saw the end of that. So there was a reset, and of course now we see that there's a Terra hanging out at our tower. That's exciting. But then again, I don't know that we actually have the magic to really try to take that on yet, and I haven't seen any
Exactly.
rods and breakables for us to be able to do it.
And we're getting a save.
And I've already dropped Umaro out of my party. I do not want to go back to the airship and get him and then put dice on him and then try to get through tower with that just to get Terra. Like, Terra is a good character. She's one of the best characters in the game. Her checks, though, are a mixed bag. And, you know, like I said, I've already committed to this counterplay. So when I do see her later, I'm already kind of like committed to what I have. I think that, because remember, you got to walk up the tower and then walk back down. Your reward for that is 1 high tier item, maybe 2 if you do the dragon, and then, you know, you get the character at the end. Then she's got a bunch of long checks and then like 1 short check. And I'm looking for espers at the end. We end up finding another character here, and that character is actually really, really good. So the counterplay in a burning house is going to work out for me, and since it has worked out for me, it makes it easy to skip her later when I go and find her.
Save Sid.
All right, so now we're getting
Save
into our
Sid.
incentives.
Fantastic. Okay, so with Save Sid, you got to feed him the fast fish.
Or the only fish, apparently.
Or the only fish. Oh, fish.
Flames trolling me hard, as usual.
Oh, save the wrinkly
I
old
almost got by
banana.
that one.
This is always your favorite part, isn't it, Dwyer?
Not really.
Yeah, you actually can't
No,
talk to
I'd
them
rather
from
do
the foot of the
Injured
bed.
Lad, I think.
I forgot about that too.
Oh, does Retro Cat know that he needs to save Sid? Because we're just going in and out. I think we're about to find out.
But the only way to reset the fish is to actually leave that screen and go back in and talk to Sid. So if you see 3 slow fish or whatever, the slowest fish actually do decrease his timer even more when you give it to him. They do have a negative value. And then like giving him a regular one just like gives him enough to survive to you setting the screen. So if you can't get a fast or very fast, it's actually not worth giving him the fish. You should just talk to him and reset. And if you can do it really quickly, you end up net neutral. You know, or you end up losing what you would have lost in the first place. If you go and randomly try to catch a normal speed fish, you could be standing there for forever. So this is actually VC's correct to do what he's doing right here. You'll see me do it as well.
Very sadly, that some fish is better than no fish.
Again, that is not actually correct.
I think he's trying to reset the fish, but
That is exactly what he's trying to do.
yeah, he needs to give that man a fish.
You technically do not have to give him a fish. You can walk out and then walk back in.
You know, I can't.
You'll
look
actually
at
see
Tony's
me
screen
do
right
it.
now
I
'cause he's
have
fighting
to do
those
it
Enochs
once.
And I keep waiting for the
You're
worst
waiting
thing
for
to
them
happen.
to destroy, and he's just ripping through them.
Yep, pretty much. Oh, good. Sid feels better. So the way Sid's thing is, he has a hidden HP counter that is like gradually ticking down.
I think we get pretty decent
and you
fish
basically
RNG
just
actually.
have to each time you feed him a fish, it raises his HP, and you just gotta have to get him to a certain level.
So I think he needs to do one more. I think I get
It's not a
slightly
hard
better
check,
RNG.
but
than
it
this.
is, you know, not super fun.
Or did he? If he
I mean, look
if
at
he
the
got
fish.
3 super
Dog
fast,
can swim.
I don't think he
Charlie
correctly
Bob
reset
can
the fish on one of them. So he ended up net
Yeah,
neut-
that's
he ended
that
up
was a
neutral.
frustrating little.
I had
walk
really
there.
good rooms there though. So I have to say, like the first room trolled the shit out of me in Burning House, but then I just flew through those other rooms. So you can get bogged down by flames in those rooms too. So that's pretty good luck.
Definitely was.
Yeah. So now Sid's healed. When he says, "I feel," I
Right,
forgot.
And Ultros in the burning house with Chupon. Okay, this is somehow.
I think I did the exact same thing. Like I forgot the exact
Kinda,
dialogue. So I
yeah.
think he goes back in
Little
and
bit.
then he's like, "Oh yeah, he's good. Never mind."
The only sad part is this is not one of our fights that is going to really give us any experience because we're going to get sneezed out of the end of this battle.
Yeah, you can see how fast Mog is now, and I'm just skipping turns because there's nothing better that I can do to, especially to Chupon in the back, than hit him with the Illumina. He's also weak to Pearl on top of ice, so you don't need to kill Ultros to finish this fight.
I get nothing for it other than completion. But yay, we have saved Sid.
Yay, Sid! Be a monster.
So he comes to
Alright,
Burning
we are to the
House
Burning
instead
House.
of Tower,
And we get a character.
which
Okay, fantastic.
again I like.
Ooh, an ice shield. We are one step closer to
Yeah,
the
I did
level
not
of
get that ice shield. I forgot
protection.
about that little spot to check.
Oh, and we have a lock. Okay. It would have been nice to have him before we had those Amara checks, but I would not be sad about being able to go hit that weapon shop and see about getting a paladin shield. I think it had 10 charges on it, so that might be a little bit rough, getting further into the game.
Yeah.
But
I'm thinking this.
I mean,
for
still
sure.
worth it. Hopefully his choices are good too.
Oh, rage! I'd love a rage seed now.
So unfortunately, I did not have the foresight to unequip Gogo, and Gogo has earrings, so I need to get those back, and I will get those back later. And I think in the process, I don't have my. I think one of my tower runs, I don't have my Moogle Charm equipped on somebody, but I have some extra smoke bombs and warp stones, so it's not a big deal.
That means that even though Locke is a natural Atma user, he won't be able to use the Atma weapon. Because for some reason, the Atma weapon in Rage will break the game. Like,
Making that Atma pick up in the Coliseum. I don't even know if he ends up using it. I don't think so, because I don't think we get a good HP Esper. Maybe we get 100%, but it's late.
You know
Whatever's
what
in
he can use though?
a VK.
And that Illumina that Tony got. Because remember, Tony hasn't been to the Coliseum. He has not found a VK yet, but he did get that Illumina from the dragon.
Yeah, I'm supposed to menu here.
I mean, Locke is one sexy treasure hunter. Let's just leave it at that when it comes to his equip pool.
Absolutely.
But so I should have menued because I had to land, but I needed to save because, again, I do not want to hit. I know Poltergeist is up in the sky, and I still don't want to hit Poltergeist yet. So again, extra save play there.
You never really thought about it before, but maybe that's the reason why he has the biggest equipment pool in the game. Is the fact that he's a treasure hunter, and so he has access to all these different treasures, and he's just learned how to use them all.
Oh my gosh. I just did like the brain explosion thing there.
Surely not, no. But anyway, so okay, we see Virtua Cat now going through the burning house. Again, I feel with what choices we have, this is a good play because again, we don't really have the magic to solidly go through Fanatics. It would be ideal if we did though, because Tara and all of her checks would be amazing.
Yeah,
it would
right.
certainly open up a
the
lot.
Vanilla speed.
But this was really a good choice.
We got stray cat.
There was a stray cat.
Oh, if he can use the fixed dice, I don't know. Did Tony Gore get the fixed dice? Yeah, he did. He's the one.
He was the one using the dice.
Yeah, and so I that's a very good point. I could have used fixed dice on Locke, and I don't even remember if I looked to see if Locke could equip it because I already had Setzer on dice, and Setzer had no abilities, and I wasn't really gearing Setzer towards magic at this point. But really, what I wanted is now that I have a character that, first of all, I can't control once I rage. But I want to be able to keep Locke in the back row and do the damage in the back row. So they both weapons do that. But what the Illumina does is it gives you a bunch of extra evasion and magic evasion. And I want Locke to make sure that he gets all the levels, scales up, and is going to be like, my guy that's going to do the truck in late game. Now, if I find something that pops off the dice like an offering, hint, hint, then, I've got two characters now that I can rely on to do the heavy lifting. Because we haven't found great magic yet. There's no Fire 3. There's Merton, but I don't have enough protection yet. And so on. So I'm about to actually get my third piece, I think, right here.
That's true. Yeti doesn't need magic for towers.
I end up finding Minerva and stuff like that, but by the time I find that stuff, we already have Ultima. So I did not have the Genji glove in my mind because I was thinking I don't want a Genji glove dice because I don't have defense. If anything, I want an offering dice. So, I kept that in mind. I'm like, all right, well, if I find Terra, maybe this makes sense to come and get it. But, that'll probably be a more desperate kind of situation here. The defense of a Thunder Shield is like, of any elemental shield is what I'm taking at this point, especially since I have Merton, and that might be what I end up doing with Strago. So
Thunder Shield and more fixed dice. I think I'd take the Thunder Shield too in this case. Like fixed dice is great, but if you already have them,
but you got a Genji glove too. I mean, it's low, but you got the.
I mean, if you had nothing else to work with, I could see that. But
and now I'm thinking, I'm also thinking too as well. Like, okay, depending on how long the seed takes, I might just incidentally be able to uncurse the curse shield, even though it's 10 battles, which is like a little further. I think 7 is probably like the limit you strongly consider, depending on when you get the thing. But I mean, there's a bunch of checks that are still out there that I might have to do that have a bunch of fights in them. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to pick this up. You know, I don't have a ribbon, but I think I find one and buy it. Or maybe I do have a ribbon. I can't remember exactly what happens here, but like I'm like, okay, well, I'll uncurse this. I'll get Ultima and Strago at least, right? And then from there, my magic, you know, is solved for the most part. Like I'm just gonna be relying on, you know, my utility spells. I've got some cure, and then the dice character and the Illumina character will be, you know, what I'm doing for the rest of this thing.
Already having an Illumina, I think I would pass on it.
I don't like the shade that you're throwing at our Stray Cat build here. I'm waiting for Stray Cat, double fixed dice, very slow, but
I did think about it, but yeah, it's slow.
very
That's
powerful.
I didn't
the
say
other
I was
problem.
hating on it.
And the thing about fixed dice is that, you know, you can still roll low. So
absolutely can see it destroy. But again, we're running a race here. Got to go fast.
mhm.
Man, you're not wrong.
Listen, you're like, yeah.
It's one of the many reasons you'll see me avoid like Dragonhorn, jump, and fixed dice as well, because as good as that is, if it's not like the only form of physical offense that's out, it takes a long time to animate every attack.
But it seems
All
like
right.
our players definitely know what they're getting into, so I wonder where Tony is running to next. Looks like we're going to get South Figaro Cave. I'd say that's an excellent play. This is a pretty quick check. You have the pool right before you actually do your...
Yeah, and I don't really care about getting extra characters here, because most extra characters right now are just going to give me more options. Like, we're still pretty short on Espers. I think I only have three or four, so like I'm going to need probably another character at some point anyway to open up enough checks to go where I need to go. I know there's no Esper in Zen. I know that you know, there's probably one up in the sky, but then like my other options are bad, right? So like there's the tower, there's Can, and then like I can do this check, and on my way from doing this check, I can then go and hit Moogle defense, and then I can kind of like reassess and evaluate where I'm at.
boss, so you get a free heal as well. I'd say it's worth it.
Absolutely. Okay, so for those of you out there, since you all can't see, we've got Tony Ortiz at 6 characters, 3 Espers. And
Three,
we've got
yep.
Virtua Cat now at 6 characters, 4 Espers.
He has the Search the Sky Esper.
They're still keeping pretty neck and neck. This has been really interesting so far. We've had some variants and following one another, kind of flip-flopping a little bit, but they're keeping pretty neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
Senior Behemoth.
Well, we
This
have
guy, so... Oh, go ahead.
we have a quick $15 donation from Mashima. Paying my dues for getting frozen in Mega Man. Donation goes to whatever Comms would like. So Comms, let us know what your choice is.
You okay? Do you want to take it, or do you want me to come up with one?
I'll let you come up with one.
And you can take your time if you need to.
Okay, let me think about this. Yeah, okay, help me think about this.
I love it. It's like, do you want me to? Sure, I'll have you do it. Help me.
So what I have in mind, I don't know if it would actually work.
So here's the probably the biggest the biggest small decision is to, do I replace Strago with Realm? And like I mentioned earlier, I already have Strago with levels. I have him invested in a bunch of levels with a Magic Plus Esper, and I've got so much speed on the rest of my characters. I don't really mind if he gets lapped on turns. I can always put the speed Esper on him, which I do a little bit later, and get him some speed levels anyway. And that's his biggest weakness is he's so slow. But like my other characters are fine, and like I'm thinking, okay, well I've got dice. If I find an offering that's going on my dice character, and that's an easy way to hide a slow character is behind a character that takes forever to animate an action. You know, so pretty much right here, I don't think it's worth it, even though she has natural magic, I believe.
Oh, that's a realm.
Yeah, so like the only argument here, and this is ridiculous foresight, is that Realm might have a spell that saves our ass, like Life 3 or Vanish. for stage 3 of the end game fight. But I'm still only got 3 Espers, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll probably find a Calmness Protection Esper. One of the 3, I'll be okay. Or I'll find life 3 on an Esper, I'll probably be fine. And it gets to a point where you get so far into the game that you kind of just have to, again, follow that commitment. And, it's kind of what happens.
We do like us some Realm, especially if we have good magic to do. But I can't blame them for not kind of putting her in the party right away. We already have kind of development with the characters we have.
Mhm.
So it would be hard to kind of slide her in there right now, especially since we don't really have as much time to try to slam her full of spells.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think I got something. So
What
for
you got?
$15 for that donation, everybody out there in chat that's paying attention, that is able to, I want you
Minerva, that's pretty important.
to one time, not like multiple times, flood the chat with who your favorite Final Fantasy VI character is. That's what I want to see for that $15.
Mine's Cyan.
I'd say that's good. It'd be nice to see kind of who the favorites are.
Yeah.
And then only to be fair, after we see that
To be fair.
flood going through, I think it might be fair for us to tell our favorites too, although I don't think it's going to be very hard for you to say yours. Pretty sure people have got that by now.
All right, we got one from Mog. Real chattiest. Always a hero. Any character. We'll go any character. Okay, so we got one for the train suplexer, which is Sabin. So another one for Sabin from Sigil.
General Leo.
But yes, Harkalarka, any character. We'll go with that. Siren. Oh,
I was about to say
why is
not
Siren. Why is Siren so good?
I
Strength
mean,
plus
first of all,
2
it's
is
great,
pretty
and
huge here.
looking at the spells on it, I'd say that also makes it great.
Full commit
this
to
time
lock
around.
being the
But,
limited user.
So anyone that has not played this in vanilla, Siren, when cast, causes mute to your enemies. And in tier 2 of Final Kefka, it is absolutely fantastic to be able to mute the magic piece that we call magic. That way that we're not eating spells from him throughout the entire fight. So being able to have that means that is one of 3 things that we generally look for to make our Final Kefka a lot easier.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got a couple more. We've got Realm because of the theme song, which is, you know what, I can appreciate.
So I'm kind of in this area doing all these things, and I'm like, okay, what better time than now to think about like what my options are than now.
Appreciate that. Oh, wait. Are we meowing?
I really had
or
no
singing
reation to
first?
fly around this area previously.
You know what, go
and
for meowing
balance,
first,
and
because I
now
literally just
with
got
Realm,
water.
I'm flying over
Okay,
here to flip
okay,
to
okay.
the ruin side to do her other check. So here it is.
The forces of the West fell and Mariah's castle was taken. Prince Ross of the East took her hand by force, and she never stopped yearning for Draco. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow. Meow, 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 meow.
You do game over if you pick the
Meow,
wrong option here, by the way,
meow,
which is why I
meow,
saved,
meow.
because missed inputs happen.
Meow, 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 meow.
This whole sequence takes 4
Meow,
minutes.
meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
I'm surprised how similar our
Meow,
routes
meow,
were.
meow,
Actually, I
meow.
really thought VC would maybe try to take the
Meow, meow, meow,
the tower instead of burning house, but it turned out to be the right play to not. So, well done on him for recognizing that. Like, yes, Terra is tempting, but like not having the magic to do it is a pretty big trap.
I get a little reprieve for some water here.
You know, but I didn't know he found rods.
Oh, wait.
I
If
just
they
figured
start
that
at the
neither one
same,
of us
do you
did,
have
but
to
he
sing while
found
I'm meowing?
thunder rod. So I
I
thought
think
maybe
this
he
is
Oh
might.
my.
After I
Would
watched it
become
back, I was
awesome.
like, oh,
I
I'm
have to
surprised he didn't go and buy more rods.
Yes.
Almost done.
And then take them in. But then again, like playing live, you forget like some stuff, right? It just happens. Like you go, okay, I know where this is. I want to go back to this place, but then you just don't remember that that was there. Especially the stuff you find the earliest.
Come on. I know it's coming. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow,
Oh my gosh.
meow,
Already
meow.
started. Okay.
Meow, meow, meow.
Oh, my hero.
So this is where the whole room starts to go. I feel the vibrations,
Meow, 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 meow,
and I'm like, so I'm at the end, and I'm like, I can feel like,
meow, meow, meow.
you know, because I don't think he's on screen, but Dark Moon's also laughing. I'm pretty sure because it was loud. Like it was so loud. Like imagine I've got headphones on like this. The volume is cranked, right? And I can still hear it.
I'm the darkness, you're the
Like I hear, like I can barely hear that, but then also feel like the people, because I'm sitting right here, you know, I can feel like the vibration of, you know, everybody doing the same sort of like vocal thing and in a direction towards us.
My chosen one, must I forget you? Our solemn promise will autumn replace spring.
Discord.
Speak to me.
We all got in the habit of yelling Discord to when Discord would drop out like that. So
You know what I've realized?
we
is
didn't
it's
have any
actually
issues
very
with
hard
live
when
live
you
play, so it
can't
was all
hear
Discord.
it.
Unfortunately.
Yes, it really is. I'm like trying to time it. I'm like, shoot, I have to really try and make this work.
I know, and like trying to remember it. Yeah, no, we can't hear this. We're going totally a cappella here.
Absolutely. Acapella. So I'm like, please let me be right on the note this time. All right.
Okay, so there's a red cap. I don't buy it because I don't have a VK.
Take a drink of water.
For real. I'm just afraid if I drink now, she's gonna start singing.
I mean, yeah.
Come on. We must part now.
And then here I find the ribbon. Okay, yeah, so I found the ribbon. And I'm gonna equip the curse shield here with the ribbon on the character. And it ends up being a time loss because I think this check has an Esper that has Ultima.
So gently, you touched my heart. I will be forever yours. Come what may, I won't age a day.
Yeah, and I think I moved the egg, yeah, because he has a +2. And I go to double up his equipment. I'm like, okay, cool, Illumina parries, so that's cool. My one character doesn't have a decent shield. I'll put. Oh, there's nothing else he can use that's
Okay,
any good.
we're
to
good now.
weapons.
All right, all right. Back to the game. Back to the runners.
Oh, singing cold is not the best idea, by the way, for anybody that knows. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Owzer's Mansion, which is a realm check. Realm has Owzer's Mansion in Esper Mountain, which is over by Thamasa in World of Balance. Oh, we're seeing that cat scratch come out. Love it.
If I can
You are
jump
really
in,
excited over this.
an appreciative donation has come in from Harka Larka, $38.69. Meow. Nice.
Nice.
The meows. Yes.
Or should we say meows? Meow? There we go.
Nice.
Nice. They're never gonna let us come back, DLK. You know that, right?
No, it's true. They're gonna be like, "You're banned."
That chest is free because the timing of the door doesn't open, so you can just go grab that, which is why I grabbed it.
Alrighty.
So there was a decision to make here, now that I have the curse ring equipped, to take all these stupid treasure chest fights because they're all guaranteed, right? I don't have to you just walk under the chest, you get in a fight. You get another fight right there on the armor. But there's also the chance you just get Ultimate and Esper, and since the rewards for these chests are just not randomized, they're just garbage money or whatever, I just decided to skip
So
it.
yes, we are in Owzer's house. This one is a lot of fun. This is generally
Because I'm still missing a bunch of Espers. There's high odds that I still have to take, like, 9 more fights or whatever before the end.
Something that you would do after trying to find Realm in the.
And milking out of this,
Ruin.
veterans have a majillion
So,
HP. They're not
here
worth
we
it.
roll.
Madam can mess you up as well.
So I just saw us pick up another Minerva. I believe on Virtua Cat side, we are at Merton protection.
Ooh, we are Merton bound. I wonder if they're.
Technically, I have it too because I have 2 Thunder Shields, a Minerva, and a Red Jacket. But like, I'm not fully protected, which I don't enjoy too much because the Thunder Shields don't always do the job that you need them to do.
Actually going to use the microwave strats.
Okay, so Merton is a really interesting spell in Final Fantasy VI. So as a kid, whenever I played this, I read that description. I'm like, why in the world would ever I pick a spell that's gonna harm myself too? Duh, that's dumb. Okay, so I learned in the randomizer, you just put on Merton protection, which means Merton is a twofold spell. It has wind damage and it has fire damage. If you can negate one of those, you negate all of the damage. Which means you can throw on what we're calling elemental shields, like your Thunder, Ice, Fire Shield, Paladin Shield, that will negate wind, or on the Paladin Shield, or on the Fire Shield, it will negate or absorb the fire. And you become completely immune to this spell while it does devastating damage, devastating, not decimating, devastating damage to the enemy. Fantastic
Notice I
spell.
should throw that out there again, by the way.
Say what?
I said, just notice how you had to throw that out there again. We're not using decimate anymore. We don't want this. We don't want numerical values. Shame.
I mean, if we attack 10 enemies with it, I think it then becomes decimate, or a 10th of enemy. If we use it a 10th of the time of the seed, we have then decimated the seed. Anyway,
I appreciate
You're getting a
the
math
talk.
lesson today, people.
I appreciate the talk about decimation, what it literally means. But can I barge in with another donation?
Mm-hmm.
of course,
All right.
please interrupt.
More singing appreciation.
There you go. There's Ultima and a super high rate. So it's like, okay, we're now abandoning the Cursed Shield plan. This is what my other 2 characters are doing. They're casting Ultima.
For comms from Mashima, giving us $40.39. That was
Those are
so
plus 2
beautiful.
speed.
More
That's pretty nice.
donos for comms choice. So your choice.
Okay, DLK, you take this one.
Oh boy,
And I realize here I don't have my earrings because Gogo has them.
that's gonna make it hard. I don't even know what to do with this one. Let's see. We've already talked about what our favorite characters are in this particular.
Probably should have bought a
game.
red cap here though, anyway, just in case. But I'm pretty much now that I have
Okay,
Ultima,
hold that thought.
I'm locked in
Hold
on
that thought,
this.
'cause I just want to say,
I'm gonna go make sure
you
everyone
guys are
Ultima for sure
absolutely
on this dragon
rocking
here.
it, giving those donations for this absolutely great cause. The Liam Foundation. We kind of went through it at the beginning. I hope you're thinking about your incentive.
That's
by
an
the way, while
interesting
I'm
treasure
covering
check
for you.
there.
The
Is that
Liam
what's going
Foundation.
on?
Yeah, absolutely, is what's going on. The
You're
Liam
my
Foundation.
friend, Why you know I have ADHD. This is just making me go, ooh, I'm listening. Yes, you're right. No, okay, I am though. I am.
Well, crap. Anyway, it's there to encourage and heal and empower the LGBTQ+ community through love, integrity, advocacy, and mentorship. Honestly, that should be out there for everybody, but this is definitely a community that really needs that. And your donations are absolutely fantastic, and thank you so much. And DLK, please say that you've thought up an incentive now.
I'm really working on it. I promise. I promise that I am.
Just like they're working on that ice dragon right there.
I mean, we're working on it because it is already down and out.
Oh, fair enough. Before the slots even finish.
Mm-hmm. Let's
And Guardian. We saw this on Tony
The
Ortiz's
force shield
side.
would have been
And
nice to
that's an
keep, but I had to
experience
sell it.
egg from the dragon. But anyway, saw this on Tony Ortiz's side. We've got Bolt 2. We're gonna get through it. Love it.
You know, it is early enough at this point with this incentive. If we wanted to make this go a little longer, a little more interesting, we could require to get skipped. We could.
Is that what you're choosing? I can send a message in the race room right now.
I think that's what we wanted. I mean, you know, I'm looking at this chat here. Like, how does everybody feel about having our runners get skipped?
That means that they will have to get one of 9 characters, 12 espers, or 21 checks.
This is a big moment here. I described it before.
Now, mind you, just for point of reference, in most cases,
So I see Terra here. I don't know I have to get skip yet, or else I might have actually changed course here and done this. But I see this and I'm like, good character, but my party's already locked in. I got Ultima. It was way easier to say no to this because of the walk up and down. It only counts for 2 checks, I believe. I know you get a high tier item in the chest at the top, but I don't think that counts as a check. I don't think it does.
our runners get somewhere
So
between
I'm out of here.
15
I'm still dreading
to
having to do
those
Phoenix Cave though.
22 checks or 21 checks that they would need.
And for
So
very
it's
good
not
reason.
a
You'll see why
huge,
later.
You know, astronomical change. And if they're fortunate enough to have the whole, you know, as we call it, friend percentage, then that helps them too. And right now they're already at 7 of the 9 characters, so it's not too bad.
Now I have no problem taking this fight
Alrighty,
because we've got
looks like people are for it.
bubbles.
So let's let our racers know that they need to get skipped. And thank you again for the donation.
All right, I have sent the message in the race room, but in case they are not watching that, you guys out there in live in West Virginia, go yell at them. Let them know that they have to now get skip.
They were able. Tech was able to tell us through the headsets that we had to do it.
That was an awesome dice
Okay, so
roll. I
here's
believe
another-
that was
here's another
probably
trip
by
back
our
to
Stray Cat
Coliseum.
user, taking down the Satan's Poultry very quickly.
And we see that Virtua Cat is going back for some more VKs. Guess that Genji Glove is going to get some use. What do you think?
I mean, I really like that play, man. If we could find an offering, that would be amazing. I'd love some Octo VK strats. We haven't
But
really
even
talked
so,
about...
we do have Locke as natural user, plus Genji Glove.
Yep.
Setzer apparently was able to use it. We could be seeing lots of VK throwing going on.
Goddess
You know,
doesn't really
That's true.
mean much to
have
me
we really
when
talked about what the VK
you can
does
just
and
drop
why we're
ultimas
kinda,
on her,
like,
so.
gushing over it?
I mean, not a whole lot. I did mention that it ignores defense and is pretty much a 100% hit rate. But aside from that,
I think
no,
I think
not really.
we've gotten the message that we have to do skip now. And I'm
So
just
the-
like,
so
oh,
VK is-
well,
is
I guess I'm gonna go back
interesting
here
in It's the difference between your max HP
because I don't want to do
and
Terra.
current
I think that
HP
that's.
is added
I think
on to
Terra
the damage
loses.
that the
Going
VK
for Terra
does.
here,
So
where
what
I'm
you
at
really
at
wanna
this
do is
point,
you wanna,
loses me
like,
the race.
really ramp
Especially
up
knowing that I
your
have to do a bunch of
character's
extra
HP,
checks.
either by items or by
And I already have my
an
6
esper with
characters,
a
so like
100
I feel like
plus
it's
or
just worth
50
riding
HP
it out.
plus or anything
There's
that will jump your
options.
HP up each level.
Can is still on the
Um,
table if I absolutely have to go
So
back
that by
up there.
the end of the seed, you are doing some incredible damage that ignores defense, and by God, it is probably one of the most fun builds ever. Now, the lower your HP, the better. So you are like skirting with danger there of having that character die, but there's ways to kind of get around that too. So
Yes, and of course the reason why the lower HP the better is the damage for that particular weapon is actually calculated by factoring in the differential between your max
We went back to this
HP
at the
and
same
your
time too.
current
That's
HP.
crazy.
So the more that is missing between your max number and your lower number is added to your damage. You can get hit harder. Now, if your person doesn't have a whole lot of HP, like they've only got 2,000 and they're down at like 500, it's not going to do nearly as much as somebody who has 7,500
Actually lost
HP
count there on
natural,
the-
you know, by the end and is down to 500. So
The
it
coral,
comes
or
down
I just
to the
wanted to double
differential
check, make
between
sure
the
that
two.
I wasn't.
absolutely.
Correct.
In the
Can't
meantime, we
rage
have
here.
a raid from Speed Gaming 4. Welcome in. We are doing the FFR Summer Marathon for the Liam Foundation. This is Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide Moogle Cup flag sets with some 2 amazing runners, Tony Ortiz and Virtua Cat. And looks like we have another goddess rematch, and we've got big blue bubbles. We've got all the offense now. There's pretty much nothing that can kill these guys. Save for a very, very, very unfortunate Doom Gaze.
If I
Hold
could
that
barge in
thought.
really quickly, we did get another donation. $30 from Professor Wiggle and Mrs. Professor Wiggle, saying, "Hello, Worlds Collide friends. This is a fantastic race and an even better charity." And in case the runners can hear me, we are in fact required to do skip.
Okay, so I think this is when we
Thank
found
you.
out.
Very much appreciated. I doubt they're watching the race room if you really think about it at this point. They're getting kind of closer to the end. It's probably good to hear that for, out there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
Oh,
saving.
fun time.
And I'm like, yeah, I should probably save.
So at this point, for
And
both
also
of these
check this
runners,
Esper.
they have to be
+2
going,
magic
where
power.
are the Espers? Where are all of them? Like, we have a few, but not as many, if you will.
So Tony Ortiz is sitting at 7 and 7, and Virtual Cat is sitting at 7 and 4. So yeah, we're 2 away on Tony's side. Or
Or nope,
one
it looks like 7 and 6. Sid,
Oh.
our tracker has been napping, so we're just now catching up. I'm glad that we got to look at that. I was like, wow, it's feeling a little behind.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what? I am gonna say that he was just so stunned by our vocal performances that he caused.
I mean, that's true. He was like, hopefully he was just done. Oh, and we have dog pets going on. So for those that did not know beforehand, our lovely tracker currently and friend Sigil has put in the offer and mentioned it to both of our racers in the beginning that for each
Yeah, I was trying to win
unique
here, so
dog pet in their
I did not bet
world,
any
he would
Doges.
donate $10. And it looks like Virtua Cat
and it's
went ahead
probably a good
and
thing I
cut a
didn't
couple of those
because
puppers for
well,
some more money
you'll see
for
it
a
soon,
good
but
cause.
there's some obstacles
Was it
I still
one
have to
or two dog
overcome
pets?
that are pretty rough.
There were 2 right there. There are 2 dogs that stand right there in Moogle, close to the water.
This race
and
has
he
everything.
pet both of them.
Quite literally everything.
If I can jump in again,
Alright.
we did get another donation from
Ooh, Phoenix
Mashima.
Cave. Yeah.
$18.92.
I ended up doing this too,
Just
but
fixing the total.
didn't get
Carry
the
on.
rewards.
But also, you can put it toward
We'll see.
whatever donation incentive you'd like.
Your turn. Your turn.
Okay, give me a moment. I'll think about it.
They're putting us to work today, Dwyer. Did you notice?
I mean, honestly, for most of the fundraisers, the comms do as much work as the racers. I've noticed that. I think we do it to ourselves, though, which I'm okay with.
It's true.
Oh.
I obviously have no problem doing some work to make sure that money goes to a good cause.
But also, I really, really appreciate
So VC messed up his
making
party
that
here
an
or
even
something?
number because to me that just looks pretty.
It does.
I don't know
I mean,
exactly what
I
happened
can
there.
appreciate that. Okay, another incentive.
Let's see. So you think on that, and it looks like Tony Ortiz is taking down the tentacles of doom. Got another magicite. All right.
Glad I
so
saved
we
that
have
for
another
late because that
escort
fight
for
sucks if you don't
and
have
it
a way to
looks
get through it
like
really
we're
fast.
getting a Phoenix Cave play on Virtua Cat side.
Alright, I like it. So this is gonna make you split up your. Hopefully, okay. We also didn't talk about Moogle charms. Now, in the vanilla game, Moogle charms is one relic in the whole game that I am aware of that only Mog can wear, and it prevents random encounters. So in Worlds Collide, because
Yeah, I
we're
should have
really
menued in this
kind,
room. That was a little time waste there.
Your typical flag set starts you off with 3 Moogle charms because, in KT you have to split up into 3 parties, therefore you can do one with no random encounters. This check is much faster because we have those Moogle charms and you don't have to fight encounters with both parties, especially because if you have to do it early and maybe
Extra
one
safety
party's
saving
strong
before
and
just in
then you
case
have
Sid dies.
one weak character,
It's possible.
you're not stuck. Or you're not having to switch back and forth, which is actually very annoying.
Yeah.
And oh look, Tony Ortiz is gonna save Sid now.
Okay, so I accidentally
Always good to see that our runners
get that
are
one
kind of
first,
keeping on
but then
on top
I
of
missed
their
an
incentives as
input
well
on
and
one of the
doing their
fast fish, and I
part.
have to wait like an extra 5-6 seconds. Yeah, I forget
Mhm.
you can't talk to him with the foot of the
Okay,
bed
so
as well.
what is a good incentive?
So here I'm like, okay,
See,
that
I
one's
like
not worth
involving
it.
chat. I like
Reset the
involving the
fish.
people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him again.
So I'm gonna
Walk
put
out.
out another.
You can also walk out on the world map and back in,
chat
and you reset the fish.
question.
So I missed that fish grab right there,
Everybody
which
only answer once.
cost me a little
What
bit.
is your favorite randomizer in general that you either like to play
But I
or
think
like
I get
to
all
watch
fast from
or
here.
whatever? So go
And
ahead and make
I
that
do the
chat
same thing. I
explode.
accidentally forget
I'd say
the
that's a pretty good
dialogue.
question. I'm sure we're going to get some really interesting answers. I'm
Yeah, we
looking
got
forward to
another.
seeing what people
That's
have to
another
say.
fast.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. So we never actually answered the earlier question though. Of who's your favorite Final Fantasy VI character?
I think this actually saves him.
Okay, so
And
me and
then I
Final
go back and
Fantasy
get another
VI
fish
have
anyway.
a very like love letter relationship.
Yeah,
from
so
when
he's
I was
saved, and
growing
I go
up.
back and get another fish as
had
well.
this
So
originally on
we
Super
both did the
Nintendo when
same
I was
thing there.
little. And I
Thankfully, I spent a lot
for
less
some people
time
that
with
do know, I beat this game
the
22
reset and
times on the
everything.
SNES cartridge before it
And
was
I'm
ever
like, oh,
released
shit.
for
Whoops.
PlayStation 1. So we're
I'm
just
out.
going to talk my age there for a minute. But
Okay, save again.
when I was growing up, my whole thing
It's really
was trying
good
to
I save again
identify
here, I
with one of the
believe.
characters, and I know that you have proven through your racing that Terra is best girl, but Celeste was
Yeah.
actually my favorite character.
I think I might actually
growing
save
up
after
because
this.
I was a sucker for a love story back then.
So I go ahead and buy this item. This item is huge.
That's good. That's good.
I also liked her personality. I'd say
Yeah.
second best would
See, I
probably
have
for me
enough
would be
money.
Realm, just because I really like her snark.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty spicy like that.
And then that's
there's
huge.
offering!
I'm
Ooh,
VCAT, I believe, does not
offering!
come back and get this.
It's been hiding all along.
Oh yeah. Okay, so for very similar reasons, my favorite character is Terra, best girl. Maybe not so much of a relatable thing, I guess, just because as a kid, I always wanted to be freaking born with magic. She was naturally born with magic. By God, why can't I be her?
That's fair.
So there we go. There's the more
And I'm
childish
going for the
reason,
toilet
but,
play here.
No, I just really
This is the
like character.
fastest
I
thing
like
that I
the
have
character
available.
design and how it looks, and green's my favorite color. So there we go.
And if the toilet play
So,
hits,
I don't
so
know.
I should probably pause here. So I'm going for. So I know I need to do the skip. I believe at this point I have 18 checks in, and we need 21 to get the skip. So I'm going for the toilet play because the toilet play can be an Esper, and then if the toilet play works, then I kill both of the dragons in, and then I warp out and then warp back in with the skip, and then I'm done. However, it is not an Esper, so you'll see me warp out and then continue playing. But they're going to speculate on what I was doing here. This is what I had in mind, because I was on 18 checks total.
How many checks that Tony is at, I did not see, but I see that we are currently, everybody looks like they are getting prepared to dive into KT. So I do hope that we have what we need for our skip.
And if you see the Yeti in my party one,
now
you know I'm
again,
not going all the way through.
Could be doing middle lane. We're not judging yet.
Yeah. You see the Yeti solo,
looks
you know
like-
it's not a full run in.
You know what? I'm going to go to their actual streams. Stand by.
Which you can't do because we're live, but
You have old music?
I'm not actually streaming. We're not streaming.
For
We're both
anybody
being
who's
captured
ever
live here.
seen
So our streams are
some
not
of the
up.
Hermitcraft people, I mean, we're fighting the toilet Atma. So I'm again going to go for the maybe. We are going for a check skip. But yeah, if we do whole green, it's like da 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 da, and I blame my kid for that, by the way. There's another offering on the toilet Atma.
So now I do the math and I'm like, okay, well, I've got to go get another Esper anyway. And now I'm at 19, so I'm just gonna bounce out of the of here and then go do Phoenix Cave, because that's gonna give me a dragon and another look.
Oh my gosh.
Options abound.
And really, I didn't even have the full party up here. I could have just done one character. I don't want to do
jump in,
Phoenix
we
Cave.
got
It's
some more
so against
donations here.
my what I want to do, but I know it's what the right move is.
He came in with a 333,
And so this is actually going to be a sad part of it. Ends up being still a really good race anyway, but So I'll just spoil it for you now. We're gonna go through Phoenix Cave, and something bad's gonna happen.
Got to make it a clean round number and then port it wherever you like. So your choice. Mashima came in.
So I do make a mistake there. I should have put Go-Go in the second party because he already has Moogle Charm equipped, which is another reason. Actually, I made all the right plays, and then I just, I prepped correctly there. Did that correctly for this scenario if it happened, and then I just didn't execute, on my actual plan that I set up.
With an 11-11 saying should be a palindrome now for DM. It was not. So Mashima donated another 30 and said I give up. But yes, all that is Com's choice.
So
Oh boy.
waste about
See, again,
7
they're putting
seconds
us to
here doing
work.
that. Probably.
Kidding.
With
Guys,
the
my
menu
brain
load,
hurts.
unmenu load, the menu.
Okay. Okay. So
Now, granted, I am looking at some of these randos because we did talk about trying to find out our randos. We hadn't really gone through it. I'm looking at a Super Metroid.
So I'm at 8 Espers here. I only
Kingdom
need
Hearts 2.
Which is
I've
why I
only
went
seen
into the
somebody
tower
do that
when I
in
went in.
Archipelago, which is kind of fun. Zelda 2 randomizer. Yeah, I can see that. Sigil likes to stab things. That is definitely a stabby game. SMZ3, okay, and Crystallis. I had the pleasure in a previous marathon for charity to do comms for a Crystallis race, even though I have never played it. I watched enough and learned enough that I got to do comms for that. Let's see. Are you legally required to put a Final Fantasy? I mean, this is Final Fantasy randomizer, so maybe Symphony.
no. I said they
Night?
could have a pass. They could have a pass.
Aw, see, you're so nice.
Yeah, so going back up to Can
But
here
then they haven't said anything since.
ends up being
So-
nothing, so that's a
I
huge
mean,
time
they'll
waste
think
there.
that
And
unless
we end
they
up
let
breaking
roll their
even
next
with my
seat
tech
for
issues, I
whatever,
think, on
then
that.
Maybe not, but yeah, whatever.
Right. So, what is your favorite randomizer, Dwaya? I know that
Okay.
you.
And the Can's still in the back of my mind, but I'm
Yeah,
going to
so
exhaust
right now,
other options before I do
Worlds
it.
Collide holds a special place in my heart. I am absolutely loving Z1R though. It has been a blast, and also I never got to beat that game as a kid, so I'm like getting full on revenge now.
I can see that. Ganon must go down.
Yeah, exactly. I also would like to pass on one of these incentives to our tracker Sigil, who actually said Water Sword for Final Sword and Crystallis. So if can we pass that on? Is that possible?
Well, right now I think there is a bid war for the sword that is going to be. So we could possibly put one of the amounts towards one of those swords. I think would probably work.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure how that works. Somebody pushing the buttons back in the background.
Is it possible to put the funds that were donated towards Water Sword for the final sword in Crystallis in the tower?
And I also want to point out that there is now an equal 444444. And
Palindrome magic, I'm just saying.
that's
No
not
matter
even
which way you
straight
turn it.
It's like go play
Kinda
slots
enjoying
or
it.
something. I mean, yeah.
I'll just
So it
let you know
definitely
the
looks
crowd
like Tony
approved
Rich-
of your choice of Water Sword.
Excellent. Okay, so it does look like, and the crowd approved that if we can do that and put the funds towards that water sword. Excellent. So Sigil has earned himself
Yeah, and this flame
some-
shield that I
some
get
money
here and I don't get
towards
to keep
that
actually
water sword.
makes it a little
You know what?
sketchier
Sigil
because I don't have
should
my
earn himself
last
some-
shield.
Some choices.
So I
here,
do have
'cause
a force shield, but I end
he's
up having
kinda
to
been
sell
putting his
that.
money where his mouth is, much to probably everybody's chagrin.
Sadly.
But big shout out to our tracker Sigil, who, to be fair, we were giving him a lot of crap,
Okay,
but I also
so-
know that he's actually putting together one of the Z1R
This
Rookie
here-
Rumble rooms at this time too. So he's like
I open this
he's like triple multi.
and my emulator process basically stops running. That is an Esper. It would have been my 9th Esper and skip unlocked because I would have had 21 checks.
Tasking at this point, I think.
Now, arguably, the first time I ever watched him do Z1R,
So I'm like,
me
my
and
emulator
Kiddo made
is
jokes about the fact that we
just
were pretty
frozen,
sure that he was
basically.
just an octopus
So I'm
back in
clicking around, I'm
background,
clicking around, I'm
like,
clicking around. I'm like, oh shit,
arms.
what is this garbage, right?
doing all of the things
What else can possibly go wrong?
because he was tracking and
The seed's awful. It's terrible. Things haven't been going absurdly well for me or anything. And then now I'm finally I'm basically in go mode at 122. or 123, and now
messaging and
this.
playing, and I still don't.
And if
quite
I have to
figure out
reset,
how
I
to do
lose
that.
this whole Phoenix Cave process.
But he does
But
it.
I have since learned since
So
he
I'll
actually
tab
has
here,
to have
and
a
then
cam during some of the races that he's done, that he
you
is
can
not
see
the
what's
octopus
happening.
I thought he might be. So no.
So basically, okay. So yeah, like now watching it back, so we lose video. I don't know what happens here. No clue. But like I get the reward, I get the skip, I get the thing. I'm reforming my party to leave Phoenix Cave,
Ultras in the background.
and then
He's just really freaking
I'm
good.
frozen.
Okay.
That's true.
So speaking of really freaking good, back to our runners.
Absolutely.
And I'm
So
like
it looks
hoping that the
like,
process will recover.
again, based on this tracker, we're
doesn't.
at 7-8 for both runners. So I am going to assume that we are probably going for.
Can't even reset here.
It looks like we are
check
having
space.
technical difficulties on Tony Ortiz's side. I don't know if
And it's never crashed for me on my desktop. It's never crashed for me on that laptop. This is the only time the emulator's ever crashed. So I can only speculate on like the video or whatever. I don't know why it happened at that particular moment. It was fine again when we did a different seed. Somebody else was using my computer and did a different run, and it was fine. Who knows? But this happened, and you can't control this kind of thing. And so I restarted the emulator. This is why you save a lot. So I restart the emulator here.
somebody that is there on location.
I'm
if you're-
basically going to go without a tracker at this point because I'm trying to think, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I had 19. I went in there. I think I had 8. Whatever. So
There's a way to
I have to
hug away
navigate to
that,
my
or if we want
stuff.
to do, see if we can have a quick pause or what he wants to do with that. I have no idea how we're going to handle that, but it
Yep,
does.
we
look
don't- we
like
don't pause,
he's,
we just let it
pulling
rock,
things
so.
up as quickly as possible to get back on.
And then like I'm thinking about starting the script, which would resync the auto tracker and stuff. But I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can go without it. And
it looks like
it's a
we are
race.
going
It's
up
live.
Fnatic
It's
Tower
frantic.
on Virtua Cat.
And I'm just like, okay,
Ooh,
I don't think I
emulator
can.
crash. Ugh, things you never want to see happen during a race.
And so I'm like, all right, what am I going to do
kind
now?
of like not
And I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't want to go back in there because if I go back in there and that happens again, it's just over on a technicality. Nobody wants to see that shit.
wanting to accidentally turn
So I'm like, what
important
else can I
filters
do
off
for that 9th
and not
Esper?
having slots.
Let's not talk about that.
And then I start the
There's a
script back
story
up
behind
because I
that
just
one,
want to
but
make
we
sure
don't need to talk
I'm
about that right
actually
now. We've
finishing
got
the
a
goals and
Fanatics
everything.
Tower
It takes a
play
second
by
to
Virtua Cat.
run.
Now, okay, I'm guessing that they have run out of checks that could give Espers, so they have to get this Terra.
Yeah, and this is not technically correct because I was able to get all this done without getting Terra at all, right? So they missed something somewhere. Auction house. Auction house is the one thing that's here. Now I must have missed something else that they picked up because I was still an Esper short here, and so were they. So like, I didn't go back and get the Terra Esper. So what did I miss? We have both had 8 here. Oh no, we okay. So we're even. Yeah. So he's got 8. I've got 8. We've got the same 8, I believe. I don't think there's any way to slice it otherwise. But going for this instead of auction house, this walk up, walk all the way back down. This does fix your skip for you, but it's also still really slow, and you don't get to use anything but magic, right? And then you still have to go do the whatever Terra check you go for after that.
That is very likely. I mean, Terra gated. Does that really hurt your feelings?
And I
at
remember
all?
I've got the cat hood, I've got extra money, I've
Not
got
really.
all this loot that I
I
don't
am
need.
curious though.
It's
how
time to go
far,
shopping.
Okay, so with Tony's emulator crash, how far ago did he save?
That is a very good question.
Luckily, I saved right before.
I've not
I ran
even
into-
keeping track.
I still lost. I think if we go back and time it, like, so I lose 2. So I'm like, we were at 123 when it started to happen. So we'll just say that I lost 2 minutes from the crash and restart. Then I lost all the time in Phoenix Cave, which is about another 2 minutes plus the dragon fight. So I lost 2 checks. My last Esper, I lost like 4 minutes, give or take. Like maybe a minute, maybe 30 seconds more, maybe a minute less, depending on what was going on and all that. So
Of their saves, that could make a big difference here.
and then I lose additional time
See if
for
we
having
can
to
figure
get
it out based on where.
an extra check. This is where my menuing slows down a little bit because I'm like, okay, I need about 100k and I'm extra safe to buy everything.
Dragon. Okay.
Okay, so he
That's
lost
not
2
too
checks
horribly
then.
bad.
Yeah.
That's not too horribly far back. I think I'd be okay with losing a couple, depending on
Yeah.
which kind. He's
Yeah,
still
I
looking
think-
for that last Esper anyway. Looks like we're going for an auction house play.
Ooh,
I just
And
saw
glowing
Ragnarok.
stones are still available.
So
Very
this
nice.
is all
So we know that
RNG.
there's an
There's
Esper here.
an item for 10k
We did get a
that
Ragnarok on
unfortunately
Virtua Cat side.
has the most common thing of showing up. There's also an item for 20k that can show up as well. But then you have the Esper that's also available. Or sorry, there's an item for 50k, but then there's the Esper that's available for 20k on this side. So you can buy the thing out, but you obviously you just want to hit it on the first time. So you're going to see here that this item that pops up, and it's in the 10k chest. And commentary will mention this. This actually sells for more than 10,000. So normally you would just skip these and not buy them, but I just end up buying them because the dialogue's not too dissimilar, because somebody else buys it and runs up and grabs the item anyway and runs out. So it's kind of a net even break. And then like I also can just buy extra items here if you know, I end up spending a bunch of money or whatever. I'm not confident what I have.
Guessing from the dragon. So we
But
have
also I have
more big sticks
the ability to use
whack
strikers
whack
as well.
the monsters with.
A couple of different party members can equip them. So
So the auction house is okay. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hate this check.
but resetting and running back in is just slower than just
You're gambling.
finishing the sequence.
But
so
but not really. There is, depending on which world you're in, there are 4 price options. Okay, you gotta help me out with this because I
want to say that there are in this one. I think that there are 4. Obviously, you can have the striker. Normally, you're trying to kind of bring out the pool. You would usually try to look at the 10,000, the 20,000, and the 50,000. And I think there's like another one. And of course, we also have the famed Imp Robot that we just love to see.
yeah,
But
hiding at the top
this
of the
point,
tower is awful.
You're really looking for the Esper. Now, in this case, because it is a glowing
It's
stone,
got fire 3
and
though.
we are playing our game, it will
Yeah, you
show
should just
the
fire
glowing
3 the
stone.
guy in
so
the
we
back.
know as we're buying these
Doing
strikers
AoE
left
and killing
they're not actually
the little guys is
what we
actually
need.
not what you
Generally,
want to do.
rule of thumb, I would normally have about 80,000 to work with in here, and would not be buying duplicate items. In the hopes to kind of bring the pool down to be able to try to get to our Esper. But in this case, it looks like we're just buying a whole lot. Now, granted, the strikers, if I remember correctly, actually sell for more than the 10k that they're spending on them.
Yep.
So,
That is accurate.
could be worse. We're hoping that Esper is going to pop up sometime soon. There
Commentator's
it is.
blessing?
Yes, what you want to see.
Opposite of commentator curse?
Hey, listen, I'm glad that you put it out there.
It looks like it is.
But do I
a
lose? Yeah, I think I
20,000
lose 3
Esper,
checks
and
actually
that
because I
means
lost the
that
toilet
he
check
will
as well.
now have
And that's the
unlock
problem. That's the
items,
real
right? I
problem
want to say
with
that
this.
is the last thing that he needs, and there it is.
Yep. Now we just need to get the skip.
And it looks like Hidon is giving Virtua Cat a little bit of a time over there. Hidon is actually a very nasty boss, especially later in the game. Trying to do it with only magic, it can be kind of hard, and having a muddled lock, I'm sure, is not.
This is why I
gonna be
restarted the
bad.
tracker just to be sure, like
Yeah,
of how many
okay, so
checks that I
Very
needed
good
still.
play. Basically, kill off your lock. Now this is kind of dangerous because Hayden can do some nasty stuff, but get that muddle. That muddle is probably nastier than that Haidon.
Now, arguably, we also still have some shields. Like, I know that we were hoping for that Merton protection, but I'd almost be willing to break a shield to try to get this boss down. If
Yeah.
things are getting as rough as they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, hopefully, this last ultimate will kind of do it.
The old man is putting in the work. Oh,
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
quite.
Oh, yeah, break that
Thunder
shield.
rod. Break
Break.
a shield, break a
Okay.
rod. Do something. Oh,
Oh, and no
Making
Moogle
me
charm
nervous.
on Tony's side.
Which is fine. I have warp stones. It's not a big deal.
Happens once a seed. Everybody forgets a Moogle charm at least once.
Yeah, I thought
It is
I thought I had already had
Yeah.
a Moogle Charm on Realm and Go-Go from Phoenix Cave, but I lost that. Or I thought I
And
still had
there's
one on
hiding
Go-Go
down. We
because
got through
of
it.
where I reset to, but I guess I didn't
Love
because
to
I
see it.
lost this check into the tower as well. So I actually lost 3 checks.
You know, the whole theme of this for Virtual Cat from the very beginning has been that some of these bosses
Because yeah, I
have
mean, you
been
come
an
out of the
absolute terror,
tower
but
and you're on the
somehow,
airship, and then I just
aside from
fly
the one
over
time that he had to
in
reset out of the
the
goddess
Phoenix
fight,
Cave.
he's
So I
pretty
need
much
I need
powered
all
his
3 of
way
these
through
checks,
anything
unfortunately,
he's
and I
come
have to kill
across,
an
no
extra
matter how
boss to
bad
do
it
it.
has been.
I know, it's been fantastic. And enjoy your pixel vision, by the way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have completely run through most of Dome of Dream like that. So I am a stickler for nope, don't need to use that item. I can keep moving.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a Funbaba over on Tony Ortiz's side.
Or as we like to say, thick baba.
Oh yeah.
Funbaba has a lot of HP. He uses bolt magic, so that's what he's going to absorb. Oddly enough, though, he is weak to poison, despite being that lovely green color. So if you had bio, you could throw that out. But we also have big blue bubbles, so we're gonna throw those out instead.
I mean, everything is weak to big blue bubbles, and we do like to see them.
Exactly.
Mind if I
All
break
right.
in with another donation?
Not at
Absolutely.
all. What have you got?
All right. Harka Larka
I think
with
the
another
first thing I asked in the
$12.34.
dialogue after was
No
if
clean numbers.
he got Terra and what check, but
Do you remember
So
whenever
we
I
have
said?
discovered who the menace is. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Do you remember whenever I said that you were my favorite person, Harkalarka? Because
Okay,
of
she
the
had
nickname
health?
of the bad
That's not even
secrets? I
good.
now take that back. You're ruining my nice, clean numbers. But I like that you 678. That's a clean number in and of itself. So fail.
Now I see that Tony Ortiz is more or less running the tower at this point. I want to make sure again that
I need 3
he is
checks.
aware that we do need to have a skip for completion.
When you see me
You
skip that right there,
know-
you know that I'm not going through the tower the full way, because
Yeah.
you have to open that path for
Maybe
lane 1 to
he
get
might
to where
be
they need
close
to
enough
go.
But
to
we're
just
killing
dragon
dragons.
will do it.
Yep.
That may be it.
Yep.
You know what? Maybe. You know what? He knows what's going on more than we do.
Yeah, I recovered from an
Serious.
emulator crash and lost
Especially
like
since
5
he will
minutes
have
of
much
stuff.
better clue as to where things were when his
Yeah, because I lost the toilet check, so the dip into the tower and then out and then all of Phoenix Cave. So I think I lost like 5 minutes minimum of combined, and it might actually be more than that if I actually went back and timed it, you know.
emulator crash.
But it's not it didn't actually affect the outcome, which is good, so who cares?
So definitely a factor. Alrighty, and we are doing
Even if it did affect the outcome, this was all for charity anyway, so it's like not a big deal, you know. The important thing was to raise the money and you know, entertain people, and I think we did a pretty good job of that with how bad this seed was.
Welk check on Virtua Cat side.
And Virtual Cat still needs that last Esper. Now, did we see what sprite popped out? Was it a generic sprite?
It was a generic sprite. It was the Narsh guard. So we do have an option of this being the Esper we need.
And that was a very,
And
very
that was
quick.
quick.
Yeah. Alright, so Tony Ortiz, that was not enough dragon for skip, so let's see what happens. Alright, toilet atma spot.
And we
Sigil
got
coming out with middle lane. You're right.
Yep. And KT skip was just achieved on Virtua Cat side, and because I was so focused on Tony's side, did we see what Virtua Cat got out of that Welk check?
No, I might have been paying attention to chat. I'm sorry.
check
And there's
the
skip.
schedule.
It would have been a fixed dice, would have been.
So yep, Tony was on
back.
top of it. He knew he was close to that skip.
Yeah, so what I actually should have done was middle lane, because I wasn't thinking like the auction house actually counts as 1, so I thought I needed 3. So I actually shot myself in the foot a little bit having to take that extra boss, but it actually was okay because I got extra levels on Mog as well. So it wasn't that bad, but I should have just went middle lane. I don't know why I got the auction house and I was still thinking I was at 18. I needed all 3, but I actually only needed the 2. Or I thought I might have actually also in the moment forgot that I hadn't that I also lost the toilet, so I thought I already had a toilet, and then I was at 19 with toilet, but I was actually at 19 with the auction house. I only needed the 2, so I should have actually just went middle lane there, and I would have saved more time. But again, it's live. Shit happens.
Welcome in, Taco Mage. You are here for the end of the run, and Virtual Cat's looking for that offering. Just finds a Lobo instead. Is this even randomized? All right, Antonio Ortiz, like we kind of talked about at the very beginning, Kefka Towers skip.
So you can kind of see like the decision-making process, and like I've kind of tried to outline it a bit, and there's always luck involved, of course, but so I was relying a little bit more on dice offering than I would like to be, but I had enough extra power here to actually have like a lead going into the skip, and then that's after losing all that time to the tech issues, right? So like things worked out really well, like the noping out, like of the fights that were bad, going back around to them, not going for Terra, just having to bite the RNG phase of doing auction house and stuff. And then I still made some misplays, of course, like right, I could have saved more time there, not going down the right lane at all, and so on, right? But you still have to close it out, and this is where you're definitely feeling the nerves, because when you've lost that much time, when you have not had a good run because the seed's really really rough, and so on, and you don't have like really really great gear that's going to carry you through and make it easy, you're really not excited about the end game. Then the big factor that we're gonna it's gonna come up later is that we do not have a way to skip calmness. So unless Realm had natural magic that I didn't see, and it looked like VC didn't take Realm as well, that would get us past it. There was no Esper available, and like there's no throw character with the Invis Edge. There's no Mirage Vests or whatever. There's no way past it. So basically, 1 or 2 of our characters are gonna die on stage 3, and we have to hope that like there's enough to beat Kefka. I wasn't too worried because I had Ultima on Setzer as well as my 2 casters. So like even if I lost Lock and like Mog or whatever, I could have been like, okay, so I still got Setzer, I can throw some dice. If I get scammed, I can still do a couple bubbles. We'll get into the charge phase. We'll get there, right? Same thing. If I have 2 mages left, I'm like, okay, well I've got 2 Thunder Shields, so we'll go Ultima, Shield, wait, and then we'll go Ultima, Shield, Ultima. We'll be fine, right? So even without the skip, I'm like, okay, we can do this. We got it. We had eggs for a while. We've got a lot of like options and stuff. No skip, it's gonna suck, but hey, maybe we get lucky, maybe we fade, maybe only 1 character goes down, we'll be fine. But we gotta close. Like I can't control anything that's happened before. I'm going to the tower right now. What I gotta do is just close this out, right?
Let's you go to the statue fights. Like as we see right here, he's gotten to skip everything that he needed to walk through. So he is now 4 bosses away from Final Kefka. And oh boy, do they have a lot of offense. I think this is going to be a really fun tower fight.
I mean, arguably, we've also seen a lot of our bigger enemies too. And then I say that.
What were you saying? Who rolled this?
Maybe I just need to be quiet today, Talia, obviously. So we have Doom. I was really hoping, okay? Obviously. I guess that's what I get, because I was thinking, like Doom Gaze and Doom were really about the only ones that were nasty we had left over, and of course Doom showed up. So I didn't even really get the words out before it happened. But indeed, like Chatty has said, we have now officially found all 3 statue bosses.
We have.
Better than
So
finding
again,
Doom
that
Gaze,
is
to be
one.
honest.
Okay, we found all 3 statue bosses. We found Guardian. The only thing out there is Doom Gaze.
Uh-huh.
Where is he gonna be? Is he gonna be up here?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm just looking through the spell
Again,
list, seeing what I have.
you're the one that
Haste 2,
rolled
I'm making
this.
note of.
I'm
I don't
just
know.
saying.
It's in-
Mentally.
I don't know where anything is. Hey, look, it's tomorrow.
It's a Yeti.
It would have actually been smart here to look through Realms magic.
Well, you know what? It looks like Doom went down pretty
It looks like she
easily
didn't have
for Tony
anything, so-
Ortiz. So, guess it wasn't as scary as it seemed like it was gonna be.
Well, you know, at these levels and what we have for offense, it really
I almost forgot the
That is
validation
true.
chest here.
I mean, really,
Should we
there's
go back
nothing that
for
can
it?
really kill our runners unless we get just a really bad math test with Doomgaze.
I mean, Inferno, Dwyer. Inferno.
You know what? With this offense, I'm not even scared of that. And normally, I'm terrified of that in
That's
Justice
true.
Hour.
I was about to say Scare Force in honor of Sigil as well, but it's true. With these levels and these abilities, what we have to offer, I really don't see them having much struggle at all.
Yeah, no. Okay, but can I just say, like, how much fun this has actually been? This has been great. And
It has
people
been
out there
fantastic.
have really been fantastic, too.
Well, I think that's what really has made it the most fun. We have had an amazing community that has been interacting with us on comms. Like, we're having a good time goofing off and kind of saying what we're seeing. But really, having that interaction and that the community is really what makes this great. And of course, our racers who are really putting on a show and going through the ringer that you have wrought for them.
Well, you know, it's all about entertaining the masses, right?
For sure.
That
This
is true. Now, one
this
thing
is
that I
probably
don't
the
think that
worst
we
seed
have
I've ever
really
played.
seen, I don't know what
Um,
kind of calmness protection we're looking at. I
we don't
was
have
kind
any.
of trying to eyeball these espers as they're running through their menus there. We do know that they have Siren, but I don't know that I've seen any. No, we have no calmness protection esper-wise, and I'm not sure that I've seen Life 3 anywhere. What about you?
I don't think so, but you know what? The best calmness protection is just block the calmness. I'll be that person.
I mean,
Yeah, and unfortunately, my character with
Block
the
has
best
pretty
chance
good
to
chances
get
with that.
hit with it,
Everybody
got hit
else
with it,
in
and
this
didn't parry it.
particular
So
lineup is questionable. If it was like Shadow, we all know Shadow would just be like, ping! What? There was some kind of instant death coming at me? Nah.
Well, you know.
That Illumina might actually help out. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
spoiler
and-
alert,
and
it doesn't.
We'll be fine. Everything's fine. The world's burning down around us, but everything's fine.
So I was about to cringe a little bit looking at this Rexol and realizing that Ultima might be the only thing that this party has, but we do have a flare in there. So at least we do have some single target damage. Now, for anybody who's never really watched this boss particularly, you don't actually have to kill the two flames in the front. You just have to kill Rexol in the back. And generally, especially in the racing scene, when you are doing spells that are AoE and hit everything, those little guys in the front don't really have a whole lot of HP, and so you're waiting for them to
Yeah,
fade
here
out
I
and fade
I
back
fight
in.
here
And they do
because
this
if I hit the
individually.
character in
It's not
the
like they
back,
do
or
it
I
as a
hit Rexel in the
team.
back, he's dead.
So you're definitely trying to
And,
go for that single
yeah, I'll
target
hit the things
as
in the
much
front,
as
you know,
humanly
animate,
possible
but
in this particular fight.
The alternative is waiting through another flare animation, and it's like it's
Very
just as
true.
slow. So
All right. So what is this? Is
you can
that-
kind
is
of
that
get a good
3
idea
down?
of how
3 of
much
the statues
HP
down
something
that we've now
has
seen?
if you do the scaling, like
That
you know
is
the scaling math, like they were talking about
we
before. You do
do
the
have
math in your
one
head
more
about the
left,
scaling.
I believe.
You can kind of have a
I
good
mean,
idea, like what
Here
HP a
comes
boss
that
has.
Doomgaze
You know,
because
you're familiar with the boss
Why
and stuff.
not?
Because we have looked at Dullahan, we have seen, well, I don't know, that might actually be the fourth one there.
Okay, Dullahan, Umaro. Doom.
Dullahan, Umaro, Doom.
Oh,
I actually
Rexel.
need to
No,
save
we've
here,
seen
but I
Rexel.
did need to sleep.
That's all of
did
them.
need to bag my
Okay, so-
characters because they both might have to
Because this
cast
is about
magic.
to go really fast, I think. Let's talk about Final Kefka. Of course, he's the end boss in Vanilla. He's the same end boss in the Randomizer.
Yeah, I'm kind of being
tiers to it,
indecisive here. I
like
can
in
just leave
Vanilla.
my stuff the
DLK
way it
and
is
I are
and
going
go.
to try really, really hard to speak really, really fast.
And I leave the
during
Thunder
each
Shield
tier to
here.
tell
I
you
should unequip
exactly
that
what to
Thunder Shield and
expect
move it
and what the
to
common strategies
to
are.
lock, but
So we've been
it's not
throwing
that
around
big of a deal.
these terms like calmness protection and talking about siren and
Yeah, so I
mutant
almost
magic.
throw it away here, but
We're
you know,
about to get into
I figure it
this.
out.
What tier do you want to take? Do you want to take tier 1 first, or do you want me to? So we're prepared.
I'll take tier 1. I'm good. I'm good with tier 1. I was really trying to think about it because, like, I know them fairly well at this point. I would hope.
So
So,
did you just tell me that I have to take the longest tier?
Oh, so the option wasn't that the deal? Well, since you gave the option, you get to sing. Well, since you gave the option, you get to take the longest here.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take that.
Alrighty, so yes, as you can see, our players are getting themselves prepped up, finishing up their statues, and they're going to be going into Final Kefka here soon. So Final Kefka is
The slow cast is free.
4 different tiers, if you will, and each of these tiers has different
Unfortunately,
parts,
it does not prevent
with there only being
Umaro
one
from
on the 4th tier. But the rest have multiples.
using a green
that
cherry
do
on himself
lots of different things.
because the other
So
Umaro hits him down into the
once they
range to use it.
actually
So.
hit their switches, I believe, then I'll really try to go into talking a little bit about tier 1, because I have a feeling it's going to go pretty quick. Like, I can't imagine it lasting for very long. What about you?
No. I mean, Final Kefka, anything can go. There are some points where it can really go haywire. Because, randomizers are randomizers. But no, I don't think these runners are going to have too much of a problem at
Slow
all.
2 doesn't
It
do anything
really
for us, I don't
depends
think.
on whether they're able to be patient on certain tiers. And that's really hard to do whenever you're just like, go fast, go fast.
Especially if we're taking
Alright,
the
I'm
Yeti.
through here.
Like, I think both of our players at this point actually phased the Yeti out, which I'm sure is, killing glue inside.
Again, I waste more time in the menu here. It's not
fortunately, that will make things a lot more manageable.
Again, I think I can do
Final
2
Kefka,
weapons here. I'm
because
trying to give
having
myself the
that
best
auto
chance to
attack
parry, but
can be
there just isn't
a bit of
one.
a detriment to your play.
I'm at a 50-50 basically. I'm at
Yeti do
65%
Yeti
to
things, and
evade.
sometimes Yeti do, I'm going to wreck it.
Almost with luck if he
cause
gets it.
horrible things to happen. So it does not look like we will be getting some Yeti shenanigans for the end here.
Absolutely. So the people out there that are alive, go buy Glue a drink. He is not okay right now.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Alrighty, so we have now hit our switches on Tony Ortiz's side, and guys,
Discord.
really excited to see how this is going to turn it all out. But
Absolutely.
again, so at this point, we're looking at our final Kefka fight coming up with our 4 different tiers. So I'm going to talk a bit about tier 1, which you will see as we come up on it. Tier 1 has 3 parts. I will rename them, if you will, once it actually pops up. But we have the head, we have the short arm and the long arm. And this particular tier is very much physical based. So in the case of Moogle Cup, we are able to multicast our espers, which I don't think we actually mentioned beforehand. In the vanilla game,
Doesn't really matter who comes in after Calmness hits because there's really nothing I can do. I maybe would not want Umaro coming in, so I might have wanted to hit Go-Go Realm there as 5/6, but I mean, I'm assuming it's pretty tight. Like when I get into this fight and VC hasn't already won, I'm like, okay, it's probably close, and I just got to go for it. So we're all in here.
and also in a lot of our other flag sets, you can only cast your espers one time, whereas in Moogle Cup,
Hello?
you can multicast, so you can use them over and over. And as you see here, we use Raiden.
Sorry, I caught the end, but this will be
long arm that is on the
uploaded
back
to
side
YouTube
that's not
when I'm
balled
done.
up is actually susceptible.
You can always
to
watch the
instant
original
death,
one as
which
well.
right
Commentary is
here,
great, which is why I
we
left
saw
it
only
on.
2 misses, which means that it got that arm. Head is weak to fire. Generally, whenever you're doing this, of course, you see fire 3, so Tony knows what it's weak to. The order that you normally want to kill these in, if you do not have a float spell, is that you want to get rid of the head, you want to get rid of the long arm, and save the short arm for last because they have death counters.
Should have actually casted
Um,
Haste 2 there instead of
for
Flare, but
the head, if head dies last, it does Quake, which can easily tank
It's okay.
your entire party, depending on health levels. So it is best to try to instant death that long arm, fire 3, whatever you've got thrown at the head, and then take out the short arm last, and it will just hit somebody. That's it. Like that is its nice ending farewell, if you will.
don't think I
But
needed a cure
another
here, but I was
secret
just
in
again.
terms of getting
You don't
through
want
this
to
one
you don't
is,
want to die
again,
and have
since
to
I
do this
mentioned
fight
that
over.
it is
You basically
completely
lose for
physical
sure.
based, is if you have
Yeah, it is elementless and it has a very long action. So I really should have just casted Haste 2 there and then just waited and came back and just let my melee characters finish this off.
something like Golem
But also it killed the head. It helped kill the head and get me to the next stage. So it's like, eh.
and from rear, you can actually
I actually thought Strago had Fire 3, but I actually did not take the time to teach it to him because I was stacking his magic stat the whole time. We did not have quick available in this one.
Cast those and not take physical damage and pretty much just sail through this as long as you don't get quaked. And it looks like they are moving up to tier 2, so take it away, Dwyer.
All right, and right during the screen transition, I'm going to throw out there, guys, this is your last chance to kind of get those donations in. It's Collide Run, but plenty of time throughout the weekend to really raise that number to 10K, because by gosh, if we had to sing...
Oh, stage 2 is crazy. Okay, here we go.
All right,
Yeah, let's
tier
get to
2.
that karaoke.
Exactly. All right, tier 2, we've got 4 parts. The part on the very far left with its finger sticking out is...
So I go ahead and get the Haste 2 cast in here. Not ideal. You kind of want to get that on stage 1 because all the buffs follow you through the stages. You don't get dispelled until the end of this. But it's still kind of worth having it. Strago's really slow. But then I queue up the Instant Death and the Siren after this. It's pretty bog standard from there until some things go sideways.
It's magic. The red one, the tiny red one in the middle, is tools. The blue guy to the right is hit. And the tiger face down below is tiger. All right, so usually order of operations is you're going to mute magic because it is susceptible to mute, meaning that it will not do anything for the fight until its death counter, which we'll talk about in a minute. Tools, much like in tier 1, tools is susceptible to instant death.
Hold my doom there in
That is
case
not
this
break,
misses.
So as you see, we see that Raiden coming back out, and it did hit. Hit does exactly what his name says. He's just hit
You have to have insane speed with your mute caster to get it off before magic casts her first spell, so there's like not much you can do about it.
you really hard. And Tiger is kind of probably one of the nastier ones. So Tiger is weak to ice. He's usually the second one that you want to take out because once you start hitting him, you want to keep hitting him until he's dead.
Well, the thing about Weight Trick is it pauses everybody's ATB. So if your ATB doesn't fill fast enough to get an action, cue it, and then execute it, and then Weight Trick before she can cue her action, you know, she's always going to get her first spell cast off, which, you know, as long as it's not Haste 2, is not that bad. But if it's Haste 2, it's like, it's manageable. But, you know, you really have to have like basically a character on a speed us for the whole game. You have to have like 100 speed to like outspeed her. And then it has to also be the character that you have that has mute. And in this case, it's just, you know, I left it on Strago, which I probably should have moved it to Mog, because Mog had the highest speed, but it's not a big deal. Like this was a live race, right? So it's like you just need to just execute, you know. In Haste 2, I probably wouldn't have been able to get in, which is why you want to get that casted in phase 1 if you can, and that's why I kind of screwed up by like not getting that cast off. Typically that's enough. My Mog had a speed Esper for probably most of the early game as well, so he probably wouldn't have been able to get his cast off first. And then, you know, if I'd have been smart enough to put Siren on him, it would have worked out for me and saved me a little bit of time. But it ends up not mattering, thankfully.
Mainly because once he's down to about half
the real
health,
problem here is Tiger.
I believe. And then you'll also do Doom Tusk, which can zombify one of your party members.
You do, but you also get dispelled by magic on her death counter. So 1 or 2 characters potentially are gonna lose it. But yeah, all your buffs will persist through phases.
And let me tell you,
except for maybe some of the more unique things like freeze and seizure might not. No, seizure does. I'm not sure about stop, slow, and some of that stuff. Those might not. You don't. Well, technically, no. If your characters are strong enough to win through getting 1 or 2 of them killed, you don't need it. You obviously want it because you want your strongest party in the last stage. But in this seed, we did not have it. There were no Espers available. Nobody had life 3. Nobody had Vanish Unnatural. So it was just go try to find it and waste a bunch of time, or just go for it and try to deal with what the seed gave
if you get zombified with an action queued up, that can be an end to your final Kefka fight right there. Usually, we will take out hit second. Hit, like I said, all he's going to do is hit you, but his death counter is 10 hits. Now,
so this is terrible luck. First of all, to get 3 characters frozen is awful luck. So when this happens, I'm like, great. I can cast a Merton or a Fire 3 if Setzer has it. And then I'm thinking about it. in about a second or two of thinking about it,
With Moogle Cup, if you've got.
I see then Maul gets revivified, zombified, and I'm like, okay, so I could unzombie Mog, but if I do that, he's still frozen. So what does it even really matter? And then here I'm thinking I should try to get Tiger down before I even try to deal with this.
Armor Fenrir, like
You can kind of see here that now I see that Setzer does not have fire magic. And I'm like, okay, so actually my only chance to unfreeze anybody is to get Atomic Raid. And it's not even a turn. If you can't use the fire magic on your characters to get rid of it, it actually ticks down 120 seconds before they're unfrozen. So now I'm in this spot of, okay, well, do I go for the damage and get Tiger down? And then maybe like, I have to spend a bunch of time getting out of this situation? Or do I just throw the dice? Hopefully I get Atomic Raid, everybody gets unfrozen. Hopefully Mog doesn't cast Ultima on me and I don't die. And at this point, I'm just like,
first tier,
roll the
you
dice.
Can nullify that.
I think about it, roll the dice.
As we see, we just saw that Doom Tusk comes out, and that's pretty nasty.
Merton? Yeah. Oh, is it called Meltdown in the Pixel
Along
remakes?
with that full freeze, which is also pretty nasty.
Yeah, we
So
do
this
not
actually
really
kills
like
magic,
our zombified
think.
friends. They tend to get a little bit
Spicy.
spicy.
Yeah. Or Flare Star, yeah.
Spicy.
Flare Star, Atomic Ray, one of
All
those.
right, so Hit comes out with 10 hits.
So this is like really lucky. It's unlucky to get iced, and then it's lucky to get uniced. So this unices everybody, but now I have to worry about Mog accidentally killing me.
For his death counter. The first one will always be a critical, and then just hit you for the rest of the time. Magic is usually, again, this is just common strategy, but not all
Thankfully,
the time strategy. Magic,
Mog's action
when it dies,
wasn't Mog's action to
it's usually
Q
the last
wasn't
one
something
to
bad,
die.
so we're
Will
good.
death counter with 1.
Yeah, I'm old and I grew up with this, so I never say the I never say those names. I always say the old names.
Two dispels, and or a quarter, which will
Well, that's what I'm blaming it on. So I've never converted.
take all of your life down to a quarter of its total values, which can be really nasty leading up to the next tier, which we'll talk about once we get there. That was a great recovery by Tony, though. Getting rid of that zombie, getting through that full freeze, and just getting the ball rolling once again. I believe we've got Tools and Tiger down, so that just leaves Hit and Magic. While on Virtua Cat's side, it looks like... Okay, that's Hit down for Virtua Cat.
They are
See,
really
he actually
making
closed the
pretty
distance here a little bit.
Quick work of this final Kefka so
Because
far.
of that unfortunate
They've
thing
had a
with,
few little hiccups here and
with
there,
Tiger, but he
it's
also had the
still
same thing
going
happen. He got a character
fairly
frozen,
smoothly.
so
They still have spells that they can get their people up. I mean, obviously, for anybody that has played this, we like to make jokes about the fact that Life 2 is the greatest heal spell. Because you get your people right back up with full
and the
health,
thing about
and,
Ultima,
that
as good as
doesn't
it
ever
is,
make me
as
sad.
hard as it can carry you, when you get to these bosses that have more than 20,000 HP, that means you have to cast Ultima on them 3 times to get a kill. And oftentimes, even though it ignores most defense, the end boss doesn't scale up or anything, but it's still, they just have high magic resist, so like, or high magic defense. So that's still, there's still some parts of the bosses that don't take like full damage if you're not hitting them with the weakness. You really want to lean into your physical attacks here if you have them, especially the single target ones. Or if you've got dice offering, VK offering. Once you get the problematic stuff down like Tiger, then you go hard on the other ones. It's not too bad here to kill either one in whatever order. There's good enough armor on both parties to where 10 hits not going to do anything, and then like a dispel quarter isn't that big of a deal because we've got Merton protection on. I have it on every party member except for one because I didn't move my red jacket around or my thunder shield around, and then I'm pretty sure VC has it on all his party. So like we're not really caring about that. White Wind can't kill you. It's a fractional spell, so it's like whatever. But like the only thing here that has an actual weakness, well, Tools is weak to lightning, but you're almost always going to try to instant death him. If you don't have ice for Tiger, you just kind of use what you got. But I guess so we didn't find an HP Esper at all, so like he really didn't have a chance to take advantage of those Valiant Knives that he has. And I got all this time back by not going to the Coliseum. So like fading Coliseum and making some other decisions made up for the time I lost due to the tech issues and like that's you really want to save the shields for the end though, especially if things go wrong. So, I've only got thunder shields. I think he has an ice shield. I don't know if he cracked it on his tiger, but I definitely would have probably spent it there if I had. I had a fire shield from Phoenix Cave, so he should have that as well. But I lost my Phoenix Cave to the tech problem.
Absolutely. All right, so Virtual Cat taking down tools with that Genji VK. Mog coming out with the Ultimas.
This siege sure was something else,
Magic
though.
is not quite dead yet. You did see that quarter come out.
Had everything
However,
bad
because
except for
it was muted,
Doomgaze.
That was not the death counter.
That is actually one of the greatest things when it comes to muting him in general, is that you can tell exactly when he dies.
Speaking of, there is magic down. You see.
And
quarter
I
come
basically
out,
I
the
cast that
room's
ultimate because I
muted,
didn't want to
and
get
to the
scam
spells.
diced there.
So we got the full Monty when it comes to the death counters for magic, and we are up to tier 3 on both screens. Holy crap, DLK.
Yeah,
taking
so
it.
I
You
actually
guys
lost.
are really cutting
I
it
probably
close.
lost like 45
Alrighty, so in
seconds to
tier
a
3,
minute.
this one only has 2
on
parts. We have Girl
on,
in the back, and we have
stage
Sleep
2
in the
there.
front, as we talked about it in the community.
My stage 1
Girl
was
is
clean.
able to
My stage
absorb
2 was
all
not.
elements, so you are definitely not going to want to hit her with anything elemental, even something like Pearl. That's your light elemental, so you're going with base damage.
I mean, dice does a lot of
Ultima,
damage though. Like if
VK,
it hits
something
you need
that
it to.
can really do that
Unfortunately,
damage.
here I
and
get
get it
scam
done.
diced
She only
again.
has 9,999
So.
HP, so as long as you take care of that, she dies. Otherwise, she's also healing the both of them, which you definitely don't want. And of
So I
course,
hit her
we're
twice,
seeing those
but I
dice,
only did, like-
try to put in the work there.
I think I
She's
was short by like
almost
500
down.
damage,
She didn't actually
which
go
is
down there.
hilarious.
Sleep in the front, we want to make sure that we're careful with the damage that we're doing, because when he gets down to only having roughly
So what I probably
about
should have done is I should have
17,
just
8, and
ultimated,
10,000 HP,
but I wasn't confident I was going to do max damage either. So, and here it's just a matter of we have no skip, so it's just get him down.
so we also mentioned calmness. When
So
he
this
dies,
gets him
his
this
death
gets him in
counter is
range to
calmness,
get killed
which is
by dice, and we
technically
get some
a
decent
physical
dice
attack.
rolls
So if you
finally
had
for once in
Golem,
this seed.
or if you had like a Mirage Vest, if you had Fenrir, Life 3 also, because if it kills you, it
I think when
brings you
that
back up.
quad 9,
These
when the
things
double
would
quad 9
help
came, I
you
was like-
get past calmness, and
like, you could
speaking of,
visibly-
there it
I mean,
is.
I'm
Good
over here
gracious,
to
talking
the-
about ripping
the-
through that. Poor Locke is down,
this
so
side
we
of
just
the
lost him.
stage, but
But generally, you're trying to time that so
I
that
put
you
a
don't
Judd
wind up
Nelson, I
getting
was like-
into the medio phase, and you
Finally
try
got some dice to pay
get
off.
your damage past it to
so
get
Locke
him down.
dies. That sucks, but it's okay.
Really, I
Um,
barely made it through.
we're gonna
trying
get
to
through,
say that before we're going
And
up.
unfortunately
So now
for
we're on
VC, he
tier
did
4.
not skip the
Alright.
train
Medio phase.
medio phase. He's gonna get through it, but it's
Yeah,
gonna
never
cost
wanna
him
see that.
a bunch of time.
Tier 4.
And then I
Alright, so
take
we've
I
got
take that
Final
like
Kevin
45
coming
seconds
down
back
out of the
basically.
sky like
30
the
seconds to 45 seconds.
deranged god that he is at this point in the game.
He does lose a better character to lose than I
Final
did,
Kefka
but
has around 62,000
it's not that
HP.
there's not much
We
in
want
it
to do
really
about
here.
30,000 to get past his first move, which is generally called Fallen One, or always called Fallen One.
Yeah, I mean,
generally his
I'm not
first
either,
move.
but you use
That is
what you
going
have.
to take all of our people down
So.
to 1 HP. Now,
And
if
I
we
had an
had
Illumina
luck
and I had
with,
a fixed dice. That's
VK,
all I
that
had.
would have been fantastic. However, right now, we're going to get those dice to put in some work to try to get us past that. Then we're going to go into his counter phase, where he's going to counter with, as you see, this Hyperdrive or Havoc Wing. This can be very detrimental to your party, because unless you have a lot of HP, it's probably going to kill one of your people. You kind of want to wait until we get into what's called Goner phase, which is what you see right now, where it comes up
Yeah, I'm
with
not sure
text
why
box.
the crew
head
didn't
right
switch back
there.
to my audio, especially going into the
Final
fight
Kefka
with me being
cannot
ahead, but
counter you in
you know,
this phase, so you
it's not
wanna
like we could
unleash
tell.
as
I didn't know
much
whose
damage
audio
as
was
you
playing, so
possibly
it's not like we could tell him.
can in order to hopefully kill him off during this.
Because you definitely
Usually
hear
after
the
this,
you
once
hear
you've
the
done that,
end
you're in
cue
a very
first, and then you
dangerous
see the
phase
lightning
called
bolt.
Ultimate
So
phase, where he has about 10,000 HP left.
here I am pulling
When
Discord
you
back
get
up
to that
to
point-
slash done in the race room.
50% chance of Ultima when you attack or do anything to him, or nothing.
No, he's not weak to
Definitely
lightning,
wanna
but when
see
you
that
kill him,
crack
you get
pow.
the you get the flash on the
During this
screen.
Gunner phase, and
So like if you
they're probably gonna
take a
kill one
look
of your
right
people.
here, you'll see the
Kinda wanna
animation
wait
when
until
he's
we get
dead.
into what's called Goner phase, which is what you see right now, where it comes up with the text box, the head right there.
There's like a flash of lightning on the screen,
Final
and
Kefka
the background
cannot
fades.
Counter you
But you get
in
an
this
audio
phase.
cue
You
right
wanna
before
unleash
that.
as much
You hear the
damage as
thing, and then you
possibly
see it.
can
It's like maybe a
in
couple
order to
tenths of
hopefully kill him off during
maybe a
this.
couple frames early.
Usually,
You
after
get the
this,
audio.
once you've done that, you're in a very dangerous phase called Ultimate phase, where he has about 10,000 HP left. When you get to that point, 50% chance of ultima when you attack or do anything.
Yeah, so like
to
a
him
couple
or
frames
nothing.
before that
So we
flash,
definitely wanna see
you
that
actually
crack
hear
pow
the audio, the music stops basically.
during the Scanner phase, and
So, yeah.
There it is.
we just saw it.
So yeah, I mean, should have
Yes,
been about 5 minutes
GGs
faster
to
without
our
the tech
winner,
issues, but
Tony Ortiz. This was
can't be mad.
really, really close.
Still somehow
fight. So
got
we
the win,
clocked
and it
this
was
in
close.
In an hour 52.
It was a lot of fun
Good
to
time
race
given
Virtual
all
Cat.
of
He was
the
really,
nasty
like I said before, he was really
shenanigans
cool to
that
meet
Wire rolled for this
live. Hope to see him again next year.
But
hope he
these
does really
guys
well in the
really
Moogle Cup
stuck
that's
it
coming
out
up.
and turned it out. They also,
But yeah,
you
I
figure
think
they the opera,
he'll be able to
they
learn a lot from this
saved
race,
Sid.
especially about
They
Nopinata stuff.
also had to get Skip. So
and then
I'd say
Coliseum,
they really
like
were
I don't know
trippers
if he worked on
and turned
strats
this
before
out
the
great. We
before the
did
race
see
or not,
Virtua Cat pet a
or
couple
considered
of dogs,
maybe
so we did get
fading
a
Coliseum
little
like
bit
I did,
extra
but
thanks to Sigil.
it ended up
for
a lot of the
incentive
stuff not going for Terra,
money
fading
for doggo
Coliseum
pets.
ended up being the difference. And
this has been
you know,
an
I needed
absolutely
it. I
fantastic
needed an extra
race.
5 minutes
Virtua Cat
of difference
coming
because
in
of the
with the
tech
crack
issues
pow
that you can't do
with an
anything
official
about.
race
So
time of 1:54:20.
at the end here, as soon as I finished, I turned around, I took the headset off, and I yelled, "Are you not entertained?" Because we literally hit every garbage boss that you possibly can. So, you know, yeah, it was as entertaining of a race. I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with the tech stuff, but also like at the same time I am, because it ended up having us only finishing a minute apart. So um, we kind of showcased like a couple different ways to deal with things. Um, a couple of lesser known options, a few different strats that weren't considered. Like I went in a tower to get some checks on the board. I went to the auction house, stuff that people usually forget about. That's even an option. So just kind of showcased like pretty much everything you can showcase in an MCC, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this was probably the most fun bit for me. Like I love Bloodstain and all; it's my main game. But it's kind of run its course. This was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm gonna do a ton of racing, but you can always catch me commentating. Usually, if not once or twice a week, at least every other week, over on the actual FF6WC channel, which you can head over there and follow them. But huge thanks again to FFR for letting us do this. I had no idea I was even going to be playing this, but Glue decided I was, so I did. And it was also a lot of fun commentating one of the other seeds with him, and commentating with Dark Moon on the Castlevania stuff, and then just hanging out with everybody, and meeting people that weren't able to come last year, making new friends, and doing a lot of donation raising for the good cause. So it was definitely a lot of fun, but for me, it's now bedtime. So yeah, if you're watching this on my channel, please head on over to the FFR channel, check that out. Watch all the VODs there. Tune in live. Donate if you can during their marathons. If you can't, no worries. It's understandable this day and age, but maybe tell a friend, have them check it out. They do tons of work with randomizers. We have every game. It's not just RPGs. There's platformers. There's Slay the Spire. There's all kinds of cool stuff like that happening every event that they do. So the next one will be in December sometime. Stay tuned for the announcements on that. And then I'm going to probably be there for sure. We'll be reading donations. I don't know if I'll be playing anything, but definitely will be involved. And before I get out of here, I just got to show off my cool shirt that came in the mail just in time today for the event. So there that is. Excited to wear that around as well. And yeah, I'll probably be back in a couple days. The World Cup's on, so watching a lot of that. But yeah, stay tuned for more stuff for me in the future. Check out the Twitch if you're watching this on YouTube. That's where all my live stuff's at. And then we export the important stuff and bring it over here to YouTube. So no channel's monetized. I don't really need it, so I don't bother. And you can always watch this stuff ad-free outside of if they pre-roll you. So that's a choice. And I'm happy to be able to deliver that to anybody that checks stuff out. So see you guys soon down the line, and get involved. Come on out to West Virginia next summer. Be a part of the event if you can. Tune in live. We'll love to see you there. Take care.